The year of the Godfather. The year of the Godfather.
2020 was a bitch.
What?
All I wanna do is this.
What?
Twin near 21.
Come on.
A nigga thought he was done. Hating ass bitches everywhere. Dick riding in the air. Good guys better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. Hating ass bitches everywhere. Dick riding in the air. Good guys better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. Hating ass bitches everywhere. Dick riding in the air. Good guys better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. Hating ass bitches everywhere. Dick riding in the air. Good guys better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. Last year was a bitch.
Good guys took over this shit.
All I wanna do is this. New niggas from everywhere. New niggas didn't sit and stare. D Derell was always aware, but my roast was too hard to bear. There ain't no fucking stopping me. Detroit nigga pocket watching me. I rose the channel from the dead. Turn a bank account from black to red. New niggas tried to make a name. Tried to challenge me and put me to shame. 1 month after another. Can't stop the Godfather. Hating ass bitches everywhere. Dick riding in the air. Good guys better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. Hating ass bitches everywhere. Dick riding in the air. Good guys better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. Hating ass bitches everywhere. Dick riding in the air. Good guys better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. Hating ass bitches everywhere. Dick riding in the air. Good guys better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. Find a nigga fucking house soon. Word about a damn auto-tune. Let a nigga beef in peace. When you gonna release a beat? Motherfucker in the manosphere. Lame ass can't keep it real. Called channel 2 cause he couldn't take it. Next week channel terminated. Everybody gotta deal with trolls. Communist bitches with fucked up froze. Nigga lose their damn job over dough. Roman and white fucking slow. Andrew Stewart on the last leg.
What?
No far phone from the state feds. If I ain't talking about you, that mean you ain't working, that's the fucking truth. Hating ass bitches everywhere. Dick riding in the air. Good guys better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. Hating ass bitches everywhere. Dick riding in the air. Good guys better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. Hating ass bitches everywhere. Dick riding in the air. Good guys better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. Hating ass bitches everywhere. Dick riding in the air. Good guys better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. "2020 was a bitch. All I wanna do is this.
Motherfucking Godfather.
2021. Nigga thought he was done. 2020 was a bitch. All I wanna do is this.
Motherfucking Godfather.
2021.
What?
A nigga thought he was done. Welcome, everybody. This is D Derell with D Derell the Rebirth. I am here once again to chop it up with each and every one of you. Happy to be here doing a live stream during the day. I don't get a lot of opportunities to do this, so I'm happy to be able to do this today. Before I get started, let you know we got 8 people in the chat right now. Let's go ahead and get those likes up a little bit. Give a shout out to my homegirl Mahogany, Roots, and MJ. What's up, Vagoda? I see Red Triggs in the house. And I also see Miss Living Life to the Fullest, my UK sis. What's going on, baby? How you doing today? So, We're going to have a good one today. I'm going to be talking for about a good hour, hour and a half. I try to minimize my live streams where I'm not on here all goddamn day. Got shit to do. Had a busy day once again. Saw a bunch of clients. I got people on social media trying to tell me more about mental health than what I already know as a professional. They're trying to tell me, the non-professional trying to school the professional, but it is what it is. I've been dealing with that while I'm working in between doing sessions. I got people sending me long drawn out paragraphs about autism and what they think and this and that, and I'm wrong. And I'm like, look, until you draw a dime doing what I'm doing, I'm not going to really respect what you're saying. I don't give a damn what you read. I don't give a damn how many books you read. I don't give a damn if your child got the disorder. That don't mean a goddamn thing. Okay? It doesn't. I don't give a damn what community you in. Until the profession itself says something, I'm not co-signing any of that shit. So, and it kind of translates to this shit. Because, as you all know, this is the Black manosphere. And yes, I know that it's not necessarily, I hadn't really caught on because I hadn't been really promoting it a lot. Don't have the time to. But when I do come on, I talk about it. Those that want to talk about this space, this is a safe space for people who like co-ed conversation. This is a space where Black women opinions, their intellect, their stance, their ideas are respected and welcome. Today, I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite sis in this space, the faith factor. Someone that I've known dearly for the last 2 years, someone that I've gotten to know, someone that I am very cool with, I respect. Someone that I have actually went to bat for multiple times and willingly will do it again. Someone that I've spoken up for, and I will willingly do it. Because that's the kind of brother I am. But in the manosphere, we're talking about situations, a different value system, a different mindset, a different ideology, an ideology that is more practical, one that is more conducive to effective communication as a people. I'm not about the back and forth. I'm not about the yelling and screaming and hollering with women and cursing back and forth. You blame and I blame, and we basically finger pointing when we're both in the same position because we came to this continent together and we're going to leave this world together. We're interconnected and we're interdependent upon one another for survival. This is not a site or page that's about the gender war. I despise those that want to continue to draw out a gender war that does not exist in real life. I'm about real life solutions. That's why I have a channel called D Derell Life Solutions. I'm about things that are relative to the real life. I'm not about taking isolated anecdotal events that occur within the with people in the entertainment world, social media, that are not representative of the normal aggregate society of Black America. I'm not going to hold Black women to the level of Cardi B and the stuff that she does, or what Jada Pickett does, or anyone else, because not too many Black people, Black women, Black people, period, can relate. I'm not going to compare people to the likes of the silly shit that Lizzo doing. The Black women that I interact with in real life would not agree with none of this shit. Some of them have actually saw this and thought that I was the stuff that goes on within the manosphere and in these co-ed spaces. And they like, what the hell is this? They're not even for even listening to this type of stuff. It's a turnoff. I'm about practical intellectual discourse that can have a meaningful outcome, an outcome that can be applicable to real life. That's what I'm about. All this other stuff, so-and-so dropped it like it's hot, and then I saw this on Twitter, I saw this on Facebook, so-and-so did this, and abort the black babies, and all this other crazy, just dumb stuff that a lot of these people know in real life they would never talk to people in their normal everyday lives. I'm not willing to whore myself for super chats and cash apps. I'm not willing to say all kinds of shit that I know is not true just for views and subs. So this is the manosphere for those, particularly the men in the space that don't necessarily like the things that are going on within the manosphere. This is a space where your alternative viewpoints, your own personal viewpoints and ideologies and talking points are welcome. And for the women who also want to engage, you can also do the same. Okay? You can also do the same if you choose to. And yes, Faith, I think Faith is a mod in here. I don't have a lot of mods on this channel because I have this Rebirth channel is a throwaway channel that I don't have all of the options to use. I can't even log into it through YouTube. I can only log in it through StreamYard. So, just giving a basis. Giving a basis to why I decided to create this live stream. So, this is my sis here. This is Faith. Beautiful sister. Beautiful dark chocolate sister. Love her to death. In my opinion, this is a higher class of black woman. For those that don't agree, there are people right now saying some very, very negative stuff about Faith right now. Some very, very personal things that I don't even understand how they found these things out about Faith. I'm not going to say their name because they live right now. And I actually like both of them. I don't have an issue with either one of them. But Faith and whoever else, if Faith sees that live stream or have heard it, I'm not getting in between that. But I'm just highlighting that Faith has carried herself like a woman is supposed to carry herself. And I think she does that wherever she goes. I'm trying to figure out why is it so triggering that somebody that decided to say we need a higher class of black women. What's up, Ganocracy Takeover? How you doing, sis? Okay, Miss Faith is in the house. Appreciate you for coming in, Ganocracy Takeover. Appreciate you for coming in, Faith. This is about you, sis. Because my purpose of this particular video is to kind of highlight why has this been a triggering topic? Why wouldn't we want a higher class of black women? And then I'm starting to wonder, as black people, do we want standards? Because we must understand in the journey towards achieving certain standards, not everybody is going to fit the bill. Not everybody is going to succeed. Not everybody is going to fit that standard. And this is not about being better, not about being worse. It's not about being better or being worse. It's about looking at the outcome of what you're doing. Looking at the outcome of your behavior. Now, I'm going to say this. I thought the shit was funny as hell. But when you got women talking about legitimizing when you should sell pussy, when you got women this is some shit. This is some crazy shit. That's why I don't take some of this shit seriously on YouTube, when you got women legitimizing selling pussy on YouTube, now this was not no 20, 21, 23-year-old women. There was women that's double that age. I fell out laughing because I didn't take it serious. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought the shit was comical. And the funny thing about it was that they kept going to this scarcity mindset of black women being in some of the most hellacious positions that would trigger them to have to sell ass. But that was a missing caveat. Nobody wanted to discuss the lack of preparation, the lack of financial management, or the lack of positive, appropriate decision making where you won't have to do that. What woman wants to be in a position to have sex with men for money out of desperation? Who wants to be in that position where you don't have a dime to your name and you got 2 or 3 children that you can't feed, and so now you got to go sleep with Joe Blow for a couple $100 or less, depending on what he's willing to pay? So that means we're going to talk about fucking for food? Is that the desperate position that we want black women in? This shit is comical. As the women were talking about this, I did not take them serious. I took that shit as if they were just basically capping. That's just my position, and I'm going to stick with that position. But for the women who have sold it, okay, and for the men, by the way, who buying it, because you can't sell something if they ain't somebody willing to buy. Okay? See, that's what's missing. That's what's not talked about. See, you can't sell a product if somebody ain't willing to buy. So then the question is, what do we say about men who buy sex? Are they not looked upon the same way as the woman who's selling it? So are we going to, because see, I look at this in a reciprocal manner. A better class of black woman forces the black man to improve himself, to self-improve. So a better class of black woman can positively affect the probability of a better class of black man. That's what's missing. Now, I know Faith is going to be doing a series. In this series, I will be watching and taking notes. Because now you have people who are critical of Faith because they feel like some of her talking points towards what makes a higher class of black woman are somewhat suspect and not necessarily concise. I'm going to say this. In my opinion, I think when you start asking what's a better class, like you don't know what, you should be representing that better class as a woman and as a man. A better class, period. You should look at your own values, your own behaviors, and your own life as a testament of what that should look like. So when people are saying, who are you to say that? Why not say it? Why not say we need better? A higher class is an ongoing journey is no different than a high value man. A higher class of woman, a better class, fundamentally is no different from a higher value man. Now, I guarantee, without even knowing what the full thread of what Faith is going to say, it will not reflect the BS that Kevin Samuel stated. It will not be pretty much a Kevin Samuel-like talking point, mirage of talking points. It will be something that will be more practical, usable, relatable, more realistic to Black life. What's up, Reaction Satisfaction TV? Now, my brother, Reaction Satisfaction TV is being attacked. Again, for those that don't like Reaction Satisfaction TV, of any brother that I have met, now there's some things that I don't agree with everything that Reaction Satisfaction TV has said, Commendable K. We don't agree on everything. There's some political things that I don't agree with. He's a conservative. I'm not a conservative. I'm more of a moderate. There's some things that he may talk about. Nobody agrees with everything. But this brother personifies not getting into beefs, not getting into adverse situations with other YouTubers. I've known him for over a year. And this is a person who runs away from, who prides himself on not getting involved in YouTube fuckery. Unfortunately, Reaction Satisfaction, you got to understand, brother, in the journey of becoming, and your platform is growing and your viewership is growing. So the whole context of the mantra of a better class of woman or a higher class of woman, it is becoming a conversation within even the manosphere and those co-ed spaces that surround themselves around the manosphere, women and men. So when you are talked about with certain things, and now it has been public in regards to your personal relationship, you are going to be talked about. You are going to be critiqued unfairly. People are going to try you. People are going to try to beef with you. And people are going to put you in untruthful situations and say things about you that are not necessarily representative of who you are and your platform. Because Reaction Satisfaction has a very clean platform. Very clean platform. And so when we're talking about a higher class, a better class of woman, I don't understand the pushback. The problem with the Black community is and this is to me representative of our transition out of slavery. We have a tendency psychologically to look at ourselves in the lens of the people who have oppressed us. And so the freedman, once freed from slavery, look at the other freedman, the other Black man. One may be more successful than another. And the one that didn't make it, who's failing at life, because basically we're all suppressed based on the laws, but no law is perfect. Therefore, there are going to be those that can rise above those laws. So you know what the unsuccessful Black man or the Black man that made the bad decision said to the successful Black man? You ain't no better than me. You still a nigga in their eyes. And then the successful black woman said to the unsuccessful black woman stated to the successful black woman, you ain't no better than me. You just a nigga just like me. White man look at us like this. So when are we as a people going to use our own perspective of who we are above that of others? Because that's what that attitude stemmed from. It stemmed from the fact of, as we transition into freedom, and those who became more successful than others, even though the majority of us were not successful or were not functioning at a high level because of different laws against us, we demonize those that rose above it. And even to this day, our community is highly characterized by a crab in the barrel mentality of people who don't like to see those that rise to the top stay at the top. So when we're talking about a better class, a higher class of women, we're also talking about a higher class of family, a higher class of black girls, black children, a higher class of education, a higher class of mental stability, a higher class of attitude. It resonates throughout the culture, a higher class of culture, because women are the gatekeepers to culture. Women are the ones who teach culture. They teach to the children. The children learn, process, and behave based on what they were taught. Women are the gatekeepers. So a higher class of woman produces a higher class of community. Anybody wants to get the link? I did send the link out. You can get the link. So I'm trying to figure out what's the problem with discussing a higher class of women. And the fact of the matter is that, just like with anything, comes standards. The black community lacks standard. You see, when you have people running around talking about get the bag, get it how you can get it, money over every goddamn thing. Look, I don't have problems with you having hustling short term, or you have a mindset to be successful. But we cannot continue to thrive, or we cannot continue to not thrive, I may say, based on us getting that bag by stepping over our own people and looking down on our own people, hurting our own people, robbing and pillaging and taking advantage and manipulating our own. Because we damn sure are not doing it to the majority culture. We're not. So let me look in the chat again. What's up, China White? See China White in the house. What's up, Queen? Glad to see you up in here. Okay. I did send a link out for anybody that want to come up and chop it up with me about faith, about a higher class of woman. Now, or a better class. Now, I want to put a snippet. I'm going to play this right here because this is the genesis of that. Okay? This is the genesis. And I'm going to go ahead and bring Mahogany up. Hey, Queen, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing fine, brother.
Good, good, good. So I just want to play this right quick, and then we're going to kind of go into our discussion. So this is, to me, Faith kind of going in and talking about a better class of women. Okay, here we go.
Hollywood for a number of her name is, but she was in the news recently. She recently did an interview on Oprah. I'm going to remember her name, guys. Bear with me as my old age dementia sets in. But first up, I want to talk about Cheryl because I think that the article that I read on her today is significant to what I'm going to discuss this morning. But Cheryl, she's been in Hollywood for a number of years. She's been on The View. She's had a pretty successful run with The View and in her career in that organization. So, I really love to see any Black woman doing good. But it has come to my attention that a lot of other Black celebrities really don't fuck with Cheryl like that. They really don't. And I think I know why. And see, here's the thing. Cheryl, to me, her comedy has never really been that funny to me. And that's probably the reason why she was not invited to be on any of the Queens of Comedy series. But I was looking at some of her backstory, and she claimed that the producer of the Queens of Comedy did actually send her an invite to participate in that series. But she said that when she went to go and participate in the conference call, to get the particulars of what, the situation was going to be, what the pay and all that type of stuff, she was on the conference call and she heard Monique and some more and Adele on the conference call. And she claims she overheard them talking about her. And she said, in overhearing what they were saying, she said that they were saying things about her appearance, that she's not very funny, which I don't think she's very funny either. What can she offer to a Queens of Comedy tour, so on and so forth. So long story short, Cheryl decided not to do the Queens of Comedy tour because she didn't feel as if that she would be in good company. And that's, that's totally up to her. That's totally up to her. Myself, I would not have passed up on that paycheck. But God, I wish you guys, if anybody could help me out with her name. But she was the actress that played in How to Get Away with Murder. And she also played in, I believe it was The Maid, so I forget the name of that movie. What her position is as a Black woman, and especially a dark-skinned Black woman in Hollywood. But she does not hesitate to speak up whenever the chance arises for her to speak up. And she talked about how, I believe one of the producers, when she was working on the show How to Get Away with Murder, would often call her by a different name. And so she would often wonder, why was he always getting her name wrong? He would call her Juanita or some name or another. I forget what she called the name. And she would often have to correct him and say, no, I'm not Viola. Then after a while, she would let it go. And so it came to her attention that this white male producer, this is a white male. So for all you divestors out here talking about the grass is always greener, I'm not talking against dating out, but please, when you're talking about divesting, please remember these types of stories too, when you're talking about it. Because Viola said that this white male producer called her by this other name. And for years, she wondered why. And come to find out, he was calling her by his maid's name, his Black maid. So this is what he thought of Viola. And there are many of them like him out there. And so Viola was saying, heroic Black women in the community. We need a better class of Black women in the community like Viola Davis. Unafraid, unapologetic, and willing to stick the neck out so that other women who look like her can succeed. We got too many mammies out here that want to close the doors on other Black women, especially other younger Black women. And so they will purposely close doors and purposely make things harder for you because they don't like themselves and they don't like their experience as a Black woman. So they do nothing to change the experience for themselves, and they do nothing to change the experience for the next generation. And that is the reason why Black women like Cheryl Underwood, they need to be kicked to the curb and ignored.
Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. And so my purpose of playing that is kind of highlights, the reason why I decided to talk about this and to talk about her kind of talking about, and I started with that point is because it gives rise to the difference between Viola Davis and the things that Cheryl Underwood said. And she's kind of highlighting, Faith talked about Black women being insightful, unapologetic, willing to stick your neck out, being forthright, intelligent, all of those qualities that she has talked about. And she feels like that's representative of Viola Davis. She pointed out the differences. And so in that, I'm trying to figure out what is to argue about when it talks about a higher class of woman. But Mahogany, I'm going to go ahead and yield to you. And you can give me your perspective on everything. I know you've kind of been in the, into some bit of a conflictual situations in regards to this, being on the panels and so forth. So you are a Black woman. I'm going to yield it to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, D Derell. Yeah, well, I guess so. I went where I wanted to go, and I saw my avatar on that other person's channel, but I don't watch that person's channel, so I honestly don't know. But only could imagine the fails that they said about me. But it's not gonna silence me, and nothing is gonna silence Faith. I have a lot of respect for Faith. So this is my whole So this is my whole thing. What I see going on. Let me just take it back to the beginning. The topic, a better class of woman. I mean, the title itself is very intriguing. It makes you wonder, okay, what are we talking about here? I think it's genius, to be honest. I'm so proud. Yeah, I'm so proud of her. I wish I had thought of it myself, but I don't see anything wrong with it. You've heard men, or I've heard men in this space for many a year talk about separating Pookie from, say, the educated lanes, or from separating men of educated stature from people who commit crimes and sell drugs and tear down the community. So what the hell is the difference? I'll tell you what the difference is. The difference is that it's a woman in this space. And I haven't always said it, but I've been saying it this past year because I've seen it this past year. It's a damn shame. It's not even so much the men that come after us. It's a lot of times the other women. And it's a thing where if you don't agree with us, then it's just nonsense. Don't listen to us, da 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 da. But this is the thing. They want people to listen to them. You see what I'm saying? It's just, but you say you respect women. Do you respect women, or you just respect women that follow you? You just respect women that will repeat your talking points. You only respect women that agree with what you're saying. But any other woman, there's no respect shown. So I need for people in the audience that's watching all this, I think we're all intellectual enough to really get that's what's going on. Oh yes, I'm for Black women. I'm for Black women, as long as they agree with me. But the moment they have the nerve to step out of line, honey, out of the formation, and actually think on their own, then they're a pick me, a mammy, and all these other foolish names. So I think her topic was very intuitive. I think it was just awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was thought-provoking, and I think she termed it correctly in a way that would make you just think about it. The way she, a better class of woman,
right.
And to me, it's not I don't find it offensive, even though there are those that, I know you're looking at it as a Black man. I'm connected to Black women. So I feel like a better class of Black women makes a better Black community. That's my opinion.
Well, and there's nothing, what's wrong with trying to improve? First of all, there's several things we need to ask ourselves as the audience. The woman came up with a topic. It, like I said, it's no different than any other topic that's been brought up in these spaces. The only difference is that it's a woman. We don't agree with a lot of people around here. So I don't understand why we can't look at somebody and say, okay, I agree with this and I don't agree with that. But why does it have to turn into a 48-hour drag? I don't know. Why can't we just have our own opinions and stay in our own, if you don't F with somebody, stay in your own perspective corners. Me personally, when I don't F with somebody, I don't listen to them anymore. I don't go in their space anymore.
Right.
But unfortunately, with this space, we're all kind of subscribed to one another. So whether you listen to that person directly, whether you listen to them directly or not, somebody else is going to talk about it.
Right.
I will say this. The reason I think it's such an uproar is because I think that people are taking it personally. When I hear that, I don't take it personally. Some things I love Faith. Some things she says I agree with, some things she says I don't, and I'll tell her I don't agree with that, but I still love you, boo. Why can't we have that? Why can't we have that kind of respect for one another? And I'm not trying to make this about me, but I'm known for getting up there and doing a little Tatiana dance every once in a while, and then I can turn it down and be classy the next minute. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like I said, I think it boils down to
you can use your own self. I want to hear you talk about in relation to your own self, because it gives more clarity to the situation. I mean, I would like any women in the chat that want to come up and talk about what this, as far as the term and what it may mean and how you think about it. I mean, I welcome that. It's nothing wrong with that. I mean, who not better than Black women to talk about it? So that's fine. I think it's fine.
Okay. For me, so when we look at Faith, she's very conservative. She said that herself, and we see that. For me personally, my personality type, I grew up around a bunch of women, and surrounding myself with so many different types of women, I'm not as conservative. But I know, being right now where I'm working, I work in a very professional space. And when I was in the military, I was in a very professional space, right? So I had to carry myself as such. Once I got out of the military, I started to be able to do a little bit more of what I call my own self-expression. Right. So I changed throughout the years. I got married very early to someone that was very conservative, and I did a lot of things as a new wife to try to keep my family household happy. So I started dressing very conservative. But once, unfortunately, once I guess I kind of grew into myself. So now I'm 43 years old, honey, and I'm doing what I want to do. I'm wearing what I want to wear. And so I don't judge when I see other women doing that. I'm not necessarily judgmental. However, there are different classes of people. We're not going to say that the woman that's selling ass on the street corner is the same as the woman that's saving lives overseas as a soldier. We're not going to say that those two women are the same. Well, we're not going to say, well, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to say that the dude that's selling drugs to a 12-year-old baby is the same as the CEO that's running a company, just running the shit out of a company. We're not going to say that those two guys are the same. So I think that people...
taking things, there people who have issues with that. They feel like the woman that's whoring on the street ain't no better than the other person who I mean, there's people saying stuff like this. Listen, I'm gonna say this. Sometimes I wonder, are people just saying stuff just to win an argument? Are they just doing this? It's all cap? Are they just? Is this like just you just saying whatever because you just want to? I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what to take serious and what not. But there are people that feel like everybody's equal no matter what you've accomplished and done. Everything's on a field.
You know how you test them, D Derell? This is how you test them. You say, well, if it's okay and there's no problem with it and you love women and so that's why you're giving them this advice, you ask them, would you give your daughter or would you give your son this advice? If they say no, then you know it's not good advice. That's how you put the nail on the goddamn head, honey. That's how you hit it. Because if they love their children, they're not going to suggest for their daughter or their son to do something morally wrong. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm thinking to myself, okay, whatever this person is saying, for instance, the pump and dump, We discussed
Right.
this way back.
Many times.
Right. So if that person had a daughter, would he be for pump and dump? You see what I'm saying? And if you can say that the answer is no, then you know that it's bullshit. Forgive me. But you you know what I'm saying? You know it's crap.
Right.
Hey, and hey, I think it's done now.
Hey. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Yeah,
good. I'm curious to see what you feel about things. I mean, as far as and see that there are men, and I noticed this. There are men asking like, and so the people are saying, what are the standards to a better class of woman? And to me, that's up to you all individually. That's something women decide. That's amongst women. As a man, I can only give my perspective, but I would like to know because Faith says she's doing a series. So I would be curious to understand from the both of you kind of talking about the standards or as far as the standards you have for yourself or what you were taught, whatever way you want to spin it. I'm very curious to listen to see what you think about as far as what are standards for that. So I'm gonna go with Gainachi. What do you think about that?
At first I wasn't really on board at all until the conversation, until I really start, because here's the thing, and this is what a lot of these women is thinking. With the whole when Faith started getting into the dress thing, the reason why it's so triggering for women is because a lot of Black women deal with a lot of fat phobia because our bodies is bigger in society. So we can wear the same things as white women. And it's just like, now it's the dress code for us because our bodies is so bodacious and curvy. So that's another thing that was touched on that I can understand. But what changed my mind was the fact that I know I've been going around with saying her name so much, but the fact that Atari couldn't just admit that she would never tell her daughters to not go into the sugar baby and lifestyle. That
she
was
said that shit for real. You're lying.
Well, because CK asked her. And so I had to come up there and
wait, stop. So you mean to tell me now does she really got daughters, by the way?
And I'm not sure. I don't think so, but I think CK just asked it as a hypothetical question.
Because my thing is, it's a difference between saying that bullshit if you got children and don't have children. You can say whatever you want when you don't have children. But if you got children saying that shit, that okay. So she actually said she would groom her children.
And that's the thing, is she's trying to make it seem like, oh, I would just tell her to just get money and go on luxurious dates, and I wouldn't tell her to go sell her coochie dough or whatever for money or whatever. I would just, and I'm sitting here like, that's really dangerous.
Mean the same person that wouldn't admit that she took the money and how much it was from a date? That Atari you talking about? Wait a minute. You mean the Atari who claims she lived that life, but before she lived that life, she was actually married? Oh, wait a minute. So wait a minute. Why isn't that mindset consistent with your own life?
And my whole thing about it is, ma'am, really nobody in your household should be even sugar babying or attempting to sell coochie. But really, if anybody going to sell coochie or even attempt to, it should be just you as the mother. You know what I'm saying? Especially if she asking all these questions. You know what I'm saying? So right. The fact that she can't stand in her shit and just be like, look, that's not for my daughters or whatever. We not just going to do that. I would never promote that to my daughters. I tell her do something else or whatever. You know, that's how you stand strong in your stance, because you don't have to do that.
It is so many ways that women could make money without selling your body. I mean, there's so many things you could be doing for that to be the last. I mean, I'm sorry. You can go on Instagram and OnlyFans and do whatever and make money. You don't have to have sex with men to make money. You don't. Especially in this day. That's just my opinion. There's so many thirsty men out here.
Yeah, that's why
there's so many men willing to buy pictures and videos and everything else. You don't have to do that. But that's
not everybody can make it on OnlyFans though.
Shit.
Yeah, that's another thing that they're not being
honest. Not everybody that
and I've seen big girls make money on OnlyFans. They got big. There are obese women making money on OnlyFans. Am I lying?
You do got people who got fetishes. You feel me? Like
that's what I'm saying.
That, you know.
So it's all kind of women making money. So
But you act
Ganache,
like them like everybody on OnlyFans right now falling off. Like if you not really known, like people gonna get tired of your shit the more they watch you. You feel me? So they gonna want you to do more. So that business model ain't really cutting it. You feel me? So at
okay,
the end of the day, they really gotta be out here on the pavement. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they just gotta be out here, bro.
right? I get it, but my thing is there's so many things. I mean, my thing is so Ganache, what did you think about like when they kept going in and about okay, what if you have no other options? You ain't got no food, you ain't got family, you just like it's like
I didn't hear that part, but
oh yeah,
and the
they
whole
went
thing
on,
about it
they
is
went
I understand what they saying with that, but the whole thing about it is in regular conversation, y'all can't even protect y'all daughters from that lifestyle. Like we not even talking about nothing. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have
right,
no food and nothing like that, we already know it's women that do that. Y'all not talking about women in those positions. Y'all using it as an example to deflect because y'all know that lifestyle is dangerous whole time, and then they go to the sugar baby and to deflect from the prostitution talk because that's what Faith was really talking about. She never said nothing about sugar babies. They deflected with sugar babies. The whole
right.
point about sugar babies is we don't know for sure how many of them women is really lying and they really had to give up the coochie. Okay,
Man,
the
they
concept of
a
sugar
lot
baby
of them
is that you
lying.
don't.
A lot of them lying.
Hold on, what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this, man, and I know men who you know, and I've had people that I've known that on both sides of the coins, and I don't know one person that has been engaged in that activity, whether you the daddy or the baby, that didn't have sex. Sex was on the table, so I don't know. But this thing coming up, the only time I've ever heard of any sugar baby talking about going on dates and doing all this stuff and it's not a sexual relationship is when I seen this shit on YouTube. That's the only before
This
I
shit
got on
not real.
YouTube.
And
This is
then they
before
come
I
back
got on
and
YouTube.
talk about how they became
Yeah,
Christians again, and they didn't open up all type of spiritual portals. See, I'm talking about the spiritual aspect of it because I am a high priestess, so I talk a lot about that. And I've been in a lot of witch wars with some of these sugar baby and coaches and shit like that
okay,
scamming. So I do have a lot of women. I do understand why the women over there was triggered by the word Jezebel because a lot of women that left religion to do spirituality or spiritism, they get called Jezebels no matter what they doing spiritually. But when they
right.
dig into the sugar baby and thing, they start to open up all types of portals because then they get greedy. Right? I see that a lot because it's hard to get clientele. So they try to glamour men through spirituality. And there's a lot of scamming going on out there. You know, it is.
Okay. So you're looking at it in a sense of people being misleading and they just trying to get a bag by lying and doing whatever they
Yeah,
got.
like because I've been spiritually attacked by a lot of these sugar baby coaches and shit
Oh,
like
really?
that. So
Really?
yeah, like it's
I
a
didn't
lot of
know
things.
that.
It's on Facebook mostly because
Okay.
yeah, but because you know I'm new to YouTube kind of, but it's just like it's really annoying because I really see a pattern with these women, and I'm like, a lot of y'all is really lying. You don't need to necessarily, like for instance, the Jezebel spiritism. There's this thing called Jezebel root, and you soak the root in carrier oil, right? And the oil helps you receive generosity from men. And so a lot of those sugar babies
Okay.
like that. So a
Okay.
lot of sugar baby coaches lie and say that they can make it and they really can't. And when they make it, they make it in like a month. Real
Wow.
Jezebel oil take 2 years to make. And then the sugar baby, the woman that wanted the young girl that wanted to be a sugar baby, she fuck up her whole life. She go travel, she go become a stripper and shit like that. Then she go get a reading from them, and then everything just start turning topsy turny because they want those women dependent on their products, and their products is not even real. You feel
So
what I'm
it's
saying?
about
And
so it's about selling products is what I'm hearing from you.
selling products, selling readings, selling
Okay.
sessions and stuff like that. And some of those women is not even sugar babies themselves. They just dress up their house, dress themselves up in a little cheap ass lingerie. You feel what I'm saying? From Amazon. And then they get women to, and then they dress and pose sexy and they get women's money. And it's thousands of dollars that's being scammed out there, y'all. People want spell work done, but this spell work is not even legit. People is not even privy to what's going on. They dealing with dark magic. You find what I'm saying? Not everybody can deal with dark magic, especially for money. You can ruin your life. You find what I'm saying?
You schooling me on some stuff. I didn't even know that was all involved with this. When I see the sugar baby sex, I basically see these young women they're talking about, how to negotiate your allowance. I'm meeting this guy and we're deciding on whether to have sex or not,
but why are they deciding though? Like,
I didn't know it involved all of that.
Yeah, and then see, a lot of people think Jezebel oil, you have to be a sugar baby to use it. You don't have to be a sugar baby to use it. You just have to know what you're doing for it to work. And you're not going to get Jezebel oil to work so soon. You have to wait 2 years for it to soak, and you have to pray over for 2 years, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to basically it's hard to explain, but it's a very strong magic there. And then they attach other spirits on with the Jezebel root, and then it makes it even more stronger, and their life just don't go right. You can do more with less. You know what I'm saying?
I'm tripping hearing you talk about this because I ain't never heard this shit before. Now I gotta go watch. Are there certain content creators I can watch about this? I gotta check this out. I'm serious. I ain't never heard, because usually what I hear, I see women in their early mid-20s sitting in a little room, face all in the camera, all glammed up or whatever, talking about how they met this guy and this is what I like and didn't like, and how then you have some of them. I remember they had some of them crying that they sugar daddy dropped them or fired them and shit like that. I'm used to seeing stuff like that. I didn't know. You giving me a whole nother realm of the sector that I never.
Yeah, because it ties in, because there is spirits that protect prostitutes and sugar babies, but those spirits are very strong, strict, and extreme, and they want a lot of transaction too. The same way the men want the transaction, the spirits is worse.
What do you mean by transaction? They want a lot of transaction.
Yeah, certain darker spirits, like black spirits, like Hecate, Sekhmet, Lilith, she deals with she comes from the Bible. She eats your babies.
Right.
What's the other spirit name? I can't think of her name right now. But anyway, it's a lot of different. Pampagira. She the main one. Pampagira from Santeria. So there's a lot of different spirits that they like dealing with, a lot of different goddesses that was made to protect them. However, that's very specific women. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all just making it a trend when that's a special kind of healing woman that's supposed to go out and do that prostitution and stuff like that. That's in every spiritual pantheon, and it wasn't something that was normal and that y'all trying to normalize now in society. Y'all really not anointed to deal with men in that type of capacity, so you need to stop it. A lot of women now, a lot of these cracked out harlots now, they don't have that spiritual protection. Okay, they was attacked by demons. The harlots now is not even made the same. That's why I felt what Faith was saying about the discreetness of even a prostitute. Okay. Right. That's why they had to deflect and talk about the sugar babies, but no, it's all the same energy. Okay, you still ducking and dodging to give fellatio, so you still putting yourself in a rocky situation. Okay, so everything that changed over time is the same thing with even the prostitutes. They not built the same. They on drugs. You find what I'm saying? They don't want to embrace their sexuality. You want the money, you want the instant gratification, but you forgot I gotta suck dick to do it. You don't make no sense. You find what I'm saying?
So what you're talking about is pretty much, you want this and that, but you got to look at the what are you doing to do things that counts as far as the behavior itself.
Yeah, and then there's people that's not even following that path. I feel like women that go throughout their whole entire life without their children knowing what they're doing, and they're very, you find I'm saying, they just deal with one spirit or whatever that's spiritually protecting them. They don't get greedy and open up a whole bunch of portals and just live their life, and they keep their child innocent. That's a rarity that a lot of these bitches on here is not going to admit that happens. So right now, what we should be doing is encouraging our children to have a better lifestyle. Don't push that shit on your fucking daughters. While also saying, well, most older men groom you, but you want these young women around these young men alone or whatever, and then they already got a target on their back because they might know they're a sugar baby. And you really don't think he's going to think,
come on now, something somebody wants to do. And nobody can groom you to be a sugar baby. You make a decision to be a sugar baby.
I'm talking about like after you go through the whole channels of, oh, I found this man and all this other stuff, and you feeling weird inside because you like, I gotta finesse this dude, so I don't give him no coochie, but I still gotta get the money. That's stressful. I'm gonna deal with that.
My thing is, you assuming, my thing is this, man. Are there some old crusty 65, 75-year-old white men that may agree to that? Yes. But eventually they gonna want something. They're going to want you to do something. They are not going to just be satisfied.
But isn't that off rip though? Like that to be expected from a sugar baby. Like
nah, but they don't. They're saying that you can get $5,000, $4,000, $6,000 a month not having sex.
This female doing that?
That's what they claim on YouTube.
Child.
I doubt
that. I'm just saying.
That shit don't sound real. Like I don't know.
It ain't real.
Like nah, like
that's my whole thing. These situations is a rarity. They acting like it's common. Like, yeah, these niggas out here doing it. Like, no, it's not. No, that's not true.
My thing is this.
So what, they dropping like a Udemy course or something? Like,
well, I don't know if it. Well, I don't know. Do they do courses?
The ones that do the courses, they never even did it themselves. They be lying. So the women that call up, that's kind of seasoned in a way, they just be like, "Oh, you kind of seasoned, ma'am. I already paid $800 for this session for 60 minutes. Right. What the fuck is you talking about?" You know. Then you gave me a bullshit tarot card reading. You gave me the same tarot card reading you gave the next bitch. So I'd be desperate to buy your love spell. Fuck out of here. You know.
So what I'm hearing, this is a hustle. This is basically a fucking hustle. That's what
all the way around, even spiritually and physically, and even intellectually, because there's people that'll put words in your fucking mouth when you having this discussion. You know.
So, because as you know, Atari talked. We were on Faith, or I think it was a Reaction Satisfaction channel, and we had a good hour and a half discussion about the sugar baby thing, the going on the dates. And she glamorized the whole lifestyle. And I tried to tell her, I said, do you know these men that when they give you this money, a lot of these guys try to control your life. You know what I'm saying? Like they want you to come when they want to go, the trips and all that shit. Yeah, it's all good, but a lot of these guys try to be controlling with that, They want you to do whatever they want when they want to. The time, you got to drop what you got going on to do it. That to me is not. That's almost like being in a domineering relationship. Where you're just basically adhering to whatever somebody wants you to do because they paying you.
Yeah, that's really no position to really be in. It's really sad that they don't realize that's the position they're gonna be in. And they don't even talk about that, about how to when they come up to this discussion to try to give pushback to Faith, they don't have no solutions for these type of situations because they act like it don't happen because they want to continue to do what they're doing. The ones that's really successful, which is a rarity, are they coming out and speaking on it or they lying about it 9 times out of 10. That's what's going on. And it's
all the really successful ones that I know and seen, they all having sex. That's what
yes.
Matter of fact, there was a guy, like the richest sugar baby, this black lady. She married. She got 2 kids for this white. I think he's English or something like that. She got 2 kids for this man, and she got a nice, but she having sex. It was another guy. I think he was interviewed. I remember saying in that sector. It was a white guy. He was probably in his, I gotta say, he probably was like 60s, maybe mid to late 60s, and he had these two women that he was dating that were like in their maybe mid to late 20s. And they both know he had multiple sugar babies. He was having sex, bringing them on trips. He was having sex with both of them. It's like all of the ones that are really getting a lot of money from these guys with the really high end, they having sex.
Yep.
So my thing is, if the high end mother guys who are paying way more money, how is it that the low end, that's the little $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, how y'all not giving it? That to me, that don't add up to me. That don't add up.
So what, y'all feel like they not even doing none of this at all? Like this is all fake?
No, I think that they don't want to admit that they having sex. That's what I think the issue. They're trying to give this false. They're giving these women a false perception of what that world is really like, as if you can get money for doing nothing but looking cute, smiling in conversation. That's what I got an issue with.
Yeah, she's selling dreams, man. That's all.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing about it. And I feel like it might be some lonely man out there, but come on now, do you really want to search your whole life trying to look for that, trying to pay your rent? It's just like, ma'am, go get a job. It's not that deep. Like, come on now.
Or get married or something. Like,
That's another thing they're not talking about. They're not even talking about that no more. And the fucked up thing about it is they can use certain women to say, well, they're married and I'm still doing it. So you have a lot of that coming out on the internet. You see women like, I got a boyfriend, but I'm looking for a sugar daddy. It's like, what? He's selling you off. What the fuck?
He say he's selling them off. I mean, I don't know, man. It's to me. I've seen the thing, man. They got women. I never forget it. It was a chick on there. She was a cute, very cute. She was dark. Matter of fact, that was the last sugar baby video I saw. It was probably, she did this video like 2 years ago, I think, and she was talking about she was making $6,000 a month, and she was not having sex with the guy. And then she did a course in which she was telling women to go on certain websites to find the guys. She was talking about the websites. And so she was saying that she was telling women not to go on certain websites because if you go on this website, the expectation is to have sex. But if you go on this website, they're not really looking for this and that. And I'm like, what the, like she was going in about finding the guys online, more type of thing. Have you ever seen anything like that where they were actually talking about the website?
They definitely empathize going on these apps, and it's just like you don't know who's on these apps. They're trying to make it seem like every dude on there can't get hard and all this other shit. You don't know which ones can really get hard until you in that moment, and that's a scary moment for women that's really not ready for that type of interaction. I mean, we already know how young women is already gonna go through these things in a regular dating life, but without the stigma and the reputation and all that other stuff, y'all out there with it. Y'all post all online all about it. And that's another thing that Faith talked about. She said, y'all can't even keep that shit on the hush hush when y'all selling coochie. My God. And I've seen women mess up their own sugar daddies because they couldn't shut the fuck up about posting their sugar daddies. Y'all have to be discreet.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You're not even discreet with y'all.
Nobody trying to do that and be known. They don't want nobody knowing what they doing. What's up, Topaz? Topaz is acting a fool. She said, right, I always felt like, why you got to sleep with two dudes? If that's the case, why be with the one that's broke? Why be with the broke one? That's funny. What's up, BMT? What's up, BMT?
Hey, BMT. I don't know if he can hear us.
BMT, turn your unmute. I don't think he can hear. Yeah, he fell off. I'm gonna tell him to unmute.
He be having connection issues. I'd be dead. But yeah.
So my thing is, a sugar daddy don't want everybody knowing that he he don't want his business out.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, BMT? You can hear me?
Yeah. Y'all hear me?
What's up,
brother?
Not too much. I see y'all talking about the sugar baby thing. It's over romanticized, very much so, because I hear a lot of people come on and say like they don't have to give no money, they don't have to do nothing. That's That's holistically not true. I'm telling you right now. That's like saying somebody bought a TV but they never turned on their TV. It's just not happening. I've been working between doing bodyguard. Hell, back then in the day when I was in the military, I had sugar babies, all that stuff. And if you're paying money and you're paying for a certain stock or character, people, you're going to that's yours. That's yours. That's your, in a sense, that's your property. And I don't care how women try to excuse it or try to say that's not true. On to the next one. Yeah, right. Like if that was the case, if it was so easy, then y'all would be choosing your sugar daddy. Your sugar daddy be picking y'all. They pick the women that they want to deal with. And then when they get tired of them, use them up or put them in a situation, they dump them off. I know plenty of horror stories. Sugar daddies that pay for the abortions. I know sugar daddies that they don't try to get their woman out of a financial predicament.
Right.
Uh, because if I get you out of that predicament, I'm never going to move you up out of that situation because then you would have no need to have to deal with me. Um, and I can say that I'm not in these spaces now. I'm telling you from what I know, but I've already me and D Derell had already had these conversations before. I've even talked about it on O'Shea, different other stuff. Um, and now it's so bad to the point you got to where um, their children are now following in the footsteps of you know what I'm saying. And I'm not talking about kids. I'm talking about well, mama got it in the mud, so that's how I'm gonna get it. And it usually happens sometimes with people who are down on their luck, or sometimes they they try to say, well, I just need a cell phone bill paid, or I need to catch up on bills, so they do it just a little bit. But then again, once they get used to them little checks or them like sugar daddy welfare checks coming in,
I said welfare checks.
it is. And ultimately, I feed you, I clothe you, I own you. And I told that to one of my babies. I feed you, I clone you, I clothe you, and I own you. There's no mutual thing. You don't have the same status as a wife. You don't have the same status as the woman in my house. You the fun thing. You the play toy. And that's the thing about a lot of them don't want to be realistic about when they say, "Oh, I run this, I do that." No, you don't. Because the minute you do something that displeases your daddy, and you can look it up, because there's a lot of dudes in different metropolitan areas or places that literally are in that type of life. The minute that the woman or the sugar baby breaches the contract, they cut them off. They cut them off. Like not even that. There's no question or talk about it.
Yes.
So a lot of them they don't want to break the contract. And see, here's the thing that I hate when women who have been doing it for a while tell other women who have no experience, you don't have to do this and you don't have to do that. There's gonna always, I'm sorry about that. I'm at a venue. There's gonna always be somebody who's gonna underbid. All right, bro. There's gonna always be somebody who's gonna underbid you. So let's say you're that sugar baby or you're that woman who I don't do those type of things. I can promise you that new girl who's hungry to take your clientele, to take your daddy, she gonna oh word, she don't feed you, she don't sleep with you, she don't slop you off. I got you, baby. I could do it for less. Oh word. Well,
Mm.
goodbye, Vanessa. Bye. And y'all was oh, that's forcing. No, that ain't forcing. She brought out a better deal for a lower, lesser price. And that's what a lot of these girls are doing. You have it where the younger women or the other women, it don't even be younger women, it just be women in general. They will underbid other women just so that way, just so that way they can be picked up by either the daddy or the mama. Because now you have it where the sugar mom, now you got where ladies are now entering the fray. And that's another thing that they don't talk about. You got sugar mamas, I call them. Sugar mamas on a different whole level. But they'll pick up Struggle Pookie or Struggle Bobby, a brother who's trying to get his things together. You know what I'm saying? He's cute. He's a talking I call him a talking penis doll, and they will put him on, take care of him, and son him, and usually they end up either A, getting pregnant by him, you know what I'm saying, or B, some dude who get out of conjugal visits, or he just got out of jail. They like the way he looked. They feel strong. He could probably deal with them in the bedroom. So they'll put up with that type of man. See, the game is cold. Women are now playing the game. Women are now playing the game just like the men. See, actually there's actually a convention too. That's for those. Oh yeah, that's for those.
A convention for sugar babies
and sugar daddies and sugar mamas. There's a whole convention.
Wow.
Like I said, the game was cold. The game was cold now. That's why you think. Listen, when you think these women be getting online and be talking about my daddy take care of me, my daddy this, my daddy that. It's a boost of ego for the man, because it's an ego boost for the man, and it usually be them how they call them lames or them dudes that they don't want to be seen with. Now, at some point, them guys are fine with that, because no man, no dude wants to be seen with, no offense, but ultimately a sugar baby is no more than a goddamn escort or a prostitute. That's all she is at the end of the day. When you honestly start boiling down to the bone, she's going to end up coming out to being a call girl. Now, they could try to make it seem cute as they want to, or say, I don't do those things, I'm a lady. Whatever. However you try to boil it out to, but you're just a fantasy.
Well, why do why do they have a specific name, sugar baby? Then, where did that come from? Like, is it just semantics at this point?
Yeah, it really the name that started off was like the sugar daddy was the, was the name that came first. It was always about this. Originally it was always about this old 60-year-old guy that had, was a sugar daddy to so and so. And so they started using to me, the sugar baby term is more of a later term that came out just as a way of describing the girls, giving them that name because the sugar daddy name, that's been out for years. That's been out for decades.
That's an old term. That's an old
term. So, So you know what? I really didn't start hearing about the term sugar baby until like maybe the 2000s, maybe on websites.
Yeah, I just Googled it and they said it's supposed to be like in exchange for payment, a dating like relationship. It's just more like dating than just a regular escort, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
but see, they have to say that so it don't legally, it can't sound like prostitution.
It's
It's
a clean. It's a clean. It's the cleaner version. You know what I'm saying? It's the cleaner version of the gateway. Like how weed is the gateway drug, sugar baby is the gateway drug. Sooner or later, you're going to have to get another high. You're going to have to get to another level. You're going to have to do some strange for some change. I don't care how much they try to make it seem. I don't care how pretty the girl look. At the end of the day, a baby is no more than an escort. I don't care how y'all try to make it seem. I was there and I done that. So however they try to say it to me or tell me, well, I get a man with the bag. Oh, so that means you had to do some things to get that bag. Because see, at the end of the day, the customer is always right. And I don't take what you won't do. I bet you your friend will be on the other hotline. Oh, okay, so she won't. I got you, daddy. I got you. She won't. Shit, she wasn't about that paper anyway. And I'm telling you, the game is cold. That's why a lot of these women have certain disdain for certain type of women of class or certain type of women of culture, because they understand at some point I have to dissolve and get rid of that to be accepted into this type of world. Like, it's no different than the girl.
Thing is this. I don't get it. To me, I get the sugar baby thing, but there are a lot of women who are dating guys that are doing the same thing under the disguise of a real relationship. Like, you mean to tell me you can't have a boyfriend or someone you serious with that can actually still splurge on you the same way?
Okay, so I can answer that because that's
No,
a play.
I'm just, I mean, God actually, let me,
I,
I mean, help me, because I
They
mean,
just
there's
want to make
guys
it
that's willing to do that in
because
a
it says
relationship.
dating like relationship. It's easy to just make it interchangeable with that relationship, and I think that's why they want to clean up the prostitution thing because and then other women and then these women can shame you and say, well, you effing for free, and it's just like, you don't know what my man do to look out for me. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know what I'm saying, this man just going to look out just because we together. It don't have nothing to do with all that transaction and stuff like that. You do this for a living, so don't try to put that on me. We both have our own separate, incomes.
Right? But there are plenty. I mean, I've seen this many times. I mean, and I'm not talking. And see, because I understand the sugar baby, sugar daddy situation has a connotation that people look at it like it's always the older guy with the younger woman. But I've seen people around the same
that's
age, 1 or 2 years same age, where they dating, they serious with each other, they got their own apartment, whatever, and the guy take care of his girlfriend. And then they eventually, they get married and stuff. I mean, I've seen this happen, and there's plenty of guys that are willing to date women and take care of them. So
see
I'm
that.
trying to figure out, if you this cute and you this pretty, and why is it that you can't find a guy
Yeah.
to do the same thing? Because there's
I'm gonna
plenty of
explain.
guys
Mm-hmm.
that's capable of doing the same thing.
No, see, I'm gonna explain that, and I'm gonna tell you why, man. And see, this is why. This is where it gets the nitty gritty. Some of them are hoping. It's like, imagine you going out there to a car dealership, and they're giving you a deal. Now you trying to hold out and hope you get what? A better deal. You're hoping that something better is going to come along.
So basically more money.
So you're like, this is why you see we're not official, we're complicated, open relationship. In other words, you hoping somehow Steve Urkel turns into Stefan or something, or that somebody else will see me. I'm just biding my time until
Yep.
after. And so,
Wow.
let me know if I'm wrong about this gynocracy. But listen, I told you, I know this world very well. I know
I've
dudes.
seen that a lot.
So my thing is this. Let me ask you this: do you consider a woman that engaged in being a sugar baby or had that past, could that be a better class of woman?
No, no.
That had
She's
that
at the
past
bottom. She's at.
that
She's
that
at.
trying to
She's at the.
do them.
Here's the thing about it. I'm gonna tell you right now. Show me the woman that opens up in her actual relationship and tell her man or girlfriend, whatever the hell they doing nowadays in 2022. I used to be a sugar baby. That other person automatically going to say this person is a prostitute. Right off the rip, they're going to say, "Oh man, this person used to sell their behind." They're going to think that right off the rip. That's not something you openly say unless you are in a dark corner in your life and you trying to give us the whole precious or coming to Jesus story. You don't just open up and just say, I used to be a sugar baby. No, I'm sorry. This is not no. This no. You wouldn't openly say that
Okay.
because then they're going to ask like, so what did you have to do? Because that ultimately, Daddy wants his sweets, and he want to know what did you. Daddy wants his sweets.
Daddy
Come
wants
on
his
now.
sweets.
Daddy wants his sweets. So it is what it is. And this is the thing about it. So when you start saying these things and you start putting them out, they're going to ask, so what did you have to do for that change? Because I'm a man and I understand that of the world of a man. After a while, if I'm paying, I'm going to want to touch. If I pay for it, I want to touch it. So this is why I say when you hear certain people talk about this stuff, I'm telling you, see, they always think, well, he an old man, he's harmless. Okay. But them old men, they listen.
Got
They like to be,
Viagra.
they got Viagra. Them young dudes, no, but here's the thing about it. Listen, that's why I say they'll like they don't let it fool you. Like the young guys, they're playing the sugar daddy game also. They talk to the women in strugglation, women that are trying to get their upkeep, get through college, work their job.
It don't matter how. And I know people say don't judge them. I do judge them because ultimately, guess what? I have to judge you by the content of the character that you are. And so there's no difference than somebody say I sold dope. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna judge you for what you selling dope. You got a sugar baby. Damn, you did that. If I could tell that, then you're gonna have to say, hey, what did you do? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way no daddy gonna invite you to a hotel for y'all to have dinner and then go upstairs for y'all to sit down and just watch Netflix and read the Bible. Stop. Stop it. I've heard women tell me that story too many times. No way.
Not read the Bible. You heard
Read the Bible.
I'm serious. Listen. I've been doing. If D Derell them know, I've been doing bodyguard for some years now, and I've done seen a lot of things. Like that's one thing. That's one thing. One girl. I'm not going. I ain't going to shake the tree, but her mama taught her to hustle and gave her a the notebook, right, for her being a sugar baby. But she used to pay me $150 to drive her daughter. Her daughter was 21 to go meet the client, go wine and dine them, and if they want extra, it would have been $800.
It sounds like she pimping her own daughter. That sounds like pimping to me.
Say you can judge her as much as you want, but guess what? They made money. They got them a house right there in Somerville, and that's a good area.
Damn.
I wanted
Game
to
code.
go ahead,
Go ahead, Mahogany. Go ahead, baby.
Did you finish? Oh, well, I just was going to chime in because I was listening to a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell my experience, keep myself out of trouble. I will say this because I don't know too much about, I know what a sugar baby is, but obviously like I've never delved into that lifestyle. So I don't know other than what I've seen on TV, but I want Gynocracy Takeover to tell me if she can feel me on this. As a decent, I consider myself just an average, just regular schmegular girl, but there are some men that are very giving and free with their money in there.
Exactly.
Especially if they got it.
I've had men in passing just give me $300 for no reason, and I'm like, what?
Right.
Don't ask for nothing. Man. I'm like, what the fuck? Just because he knew I was in a fucked up situation.
Right. And I was going to say, like, I've had lots of gifts. I'll put it that way. Everything from appliances,
game changer.
I'm gonna be honest. Somebody bought me a dryer, a washer.
Oh, you was a sugar baby too, Mahogany?
No, I was in college and I was struggling, and I think the guy.
That's the best ones, the college girls.
The point. Let me tell you. And I had somebody actually buy me lingerie before, and we were just friends. So anyway, I would say this.
He wanted to see you.
There's a point that I'm going to. So I will say this because some men do seem to have trouble believing that some men will do this. No, some men will do this, but I will say that there is usually a cost. It's not always about money. And that's the thing. You're kind of playing Russian roulette with that game because some guys might just be cool. They got it like that. They don't mind coming out the pocket for you. But then how do you know that he's that type of guy? Or maybe he's the type of guy that ends up stalking you. Or maybe he's the type of guy that wants all your time and all your attention. And when you don't give it to him, then he gets angry. And then he's waiting for you like that Instagram model in your apartment ready to kill you. So it's a very dangerous game. Yep. And I think we got to talk about that. That's all I wanted to say. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any thoughts? Take over?
Yeah, because I feel like men, once they pay that money, they're going to feel like entitled. You don't know if men going to feel entitled. And that's the whole thing about it. Once they know that about you, they're going to feel like they entitled. You don't want that stigma on you. To me, it's worse than just being like how Mahogany said, just a regular woman. And I like she said, I have had gifts from men. You know what I'm saying? I've had money given to me, all types of large cash apps or whatever. I do get money. So I've had men give me a heater when I ain't have it. I've stayed in men's houses for years and they ain't do shit, and they mother couldn't stand me. It was cooking for me. Okay. But we wasn't even getting back together. Okay. They may eat my coochie from time to time and go about their business, but that was the only thing that they was getting. Okay. So and I'm just a regular chick, so you can get respect. I'm not gonna be online crying like Bossy Empress TV. I'm not trying to be messy D Derell. But we
Ah,
already know that she
Another
was. You know I can't stand her. Come on now.
The one that was begging black men for money because she was out in the street, and then next
Yeah, the audacity though.
Not you mean
That's-
that Bossy Empress?
yeah, that's
Yeah, that Bossy
the
Empress.
seller.
But see, I got exes that I could just stay up in their house. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to go through that. I'm like, why did y'all already get put out? What's going on? You on the internet's crying? You don't got no exes to go back to? Oh, because they know that you was a prostitute. They know you so coochie. They don't want nothing to do with you. Oh,
wait a minute. I'm glad you brought her up. I don't mind saying her name because she like I'm trying to figure out. You came out and said that you now this is what I mean when we're talking about a higher class of women, a lower class. You came out and admitted that you was a sex worker, right? Nobody really judged her for that. Not from what I've seen, right? Nobody judged her, right? But then you act like you was making all this money. You was making all this money. You was talking all this shit. She actually reminded me of what was the lady that saw Kevin Grinner or whatever, where she went shopping with Kevin, and the next week you moving out of a house crying in the car. You remember when she did that?
yes.
Yeah, that's who Bossy Empress remind me of.
And I feel like she thought that she could hang off Cynthia G clitoris hairs because you know they promote all types of stuff like that, and they mixed in. Huh? Yeah, because she be over there with them when Nala says Cynthia G, and so that's why she came that woman spirit.
They promote that type of
so that's why she was saying I couldn't believe. Matter of fact,
and that's my whole thing. Like she on the internet's crying. Then she said she don't got her kids, but she talking shit about how black men don't have their kids. A lot of these sugar babies is divested women too online now.
Right, but
they have to.
But y'all homeless though.
But how can you talk about anybody and you don't have a place to stay? You want to call black men
exactly?
But she was begging us. Don't you know? I was about to give her. I changed my mind.
I don't give these.
I actually almost felt sorry. And I was gonna give her maybe $200.
Don't give these web hoes no money, D Derell. Don't give these web hoes no money.
But she was saying how. Remember, Big, you saw how she was in there crying.
We don't want to.
Let them starve.
We don't want to be safe.
Let them starve.
She was living out of her car and shit like that. I actually felt sorry for her.
McDonald's hires every week on Wednesday. These hoes want to eat, take their ass to McDonald's. They hiring on Wednesday. Open application interview. Amen.
She was talking about she's talking about she lost her kids. I'm like, you can't even go to a shelter and get a voucher in the middle of COVID. You're not even humble like that. You just out here with your whole chest puffed out.
Here's the problem. YouTube. If you lost your kids and the hoeing didn't pay for you and everything, and you broke, you need to get off of YouTube and get your shit together.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing about it. See, let me break this for you. That fast money is addictive because when you making 100 to sometimes when you can pull in 500 to 2,500 a night, that money gets fast and you feel like you're on top of the world. Like this is why I tell a lot of women, you can't play the same game these men play. You can't, because it's a double-edged sword. So when you say I'm running hustle on these dudes, I got them cash apping and doing X, Y, and Z. Listen, a lot of these girls, y'all know a lot of I be watching. See, you know what I do? Maybe I'm weird like that. I like looking at the background of when these women
damn BMT bargain, brother.
Shit. And I'm like, is that a hotel this mother effer is in? Because I'm like, they be doing streams inside of hotels. And you gotta understand, that's no place for no child to grow up as in a hotel. So these girls in and out of hotels having to sneak in rooms and sleep with the cleaners and stuff to try to keep a room and stuff, and eating snacks and park tarts and shit. The thing be dark. It be on a dark. See, they don't tell that part of the story where these girls have to stay in cars and sleep in hotels
and beg men to like pay for their room. And so they don't want to tell the girls that. So what they have to do, and this is the truth, they have to hustle other females to come into the lifestyle to bring in new stock and say, hey, if I bring you in on the money, you have to break me off. So in other words, they'll hustle or pimp another girl in on the game. That's why they say, well, y'all all should be sugar babies. But if I bring you in, break me off. So they're trying to recruit other girls in on the game so that way they can stay on top. Because after a while, that dude gonna get tired of them. But if I could bring in mahogany, right, or gynocracy and say, hey, I'm gonna hook you up with Sean. Just you don't have to do nothing, just play along with him for the whole night. But you don't know what she already worked out with Sean because she done pimped you off. I told you this game is dangerous because
Right. So there goes
a
the
lot.
lady of the hour. What's up, Miss Faith? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, D Derell? Can y'all hear me okay?
Hey,
Yes, I can
babe.
hear you fine.
Hey,
Great.
gynocracy. I heard you talking up here earlier today. I agree with a lot of things that gynocracy takeover said as far as like the women in the space and their not wanting anything to change. And that is the reason why I'm getting a lot of pushback about a better class of woman, because there are some women that just don't want anything to change. They want the status quo to stay the same. Like gynocracy said, or was it mahogany? I don't know which one of you said it. But hey BMT. Yeah, there was a battle between the educated lame and the Pookie and the Ray Ray. They wanted a separation. And I remember when the black men had their civil war with that. And so that's what's taking place here with the lady, wanting to, be free to be a lady. And, she's at war with the woman that doesn't want to be a lady, don't want to have any type of class about herself. And so that's the reason why I came out with this better class of woman, because we've been infiltrated. I feel as if there's an infiltration.
Yes, it has been, girl. I touch out just the lies.
Are you
They
aware
just
that
lie so much for no reason.
Faith, are you aware that that was someone live talking about your personal life?
Yeah, D Derell, I saw that, and
Yeah, I didn't like that one bit. That I thought that was kind of low, but that I didn't know what you saw, but I saw that on my way to preparing for this show. I was like, wow, they really like. Does that really?
I logged off of it. Actually, my daughter saw it, and
oh, she did.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry, boo.
Damn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that had to happen. That's a damn shame. You can take your time to respond. It's up to you.
Okay, but
it's okay. If you can take the time. I can just talk when you're ready to. You can respond if you want to. I thought that was pretty low. I didn't think that was worth all of that, but I was like, damn, that like, was that really necessary?
So my daughter is going through dealing with deep depression. She's been suicidal, and I wasn't aware of it.
Right.
And she's deeply sorry for things that she has done in that situation too. And so we both had to take accountability for that situation, because it wasn't a pretty one at all for either one of us.
Right.
And we're both still healing from that.
Right. I get it. I mean, you don't have to explain anything to me or anybody. I mean, it's a personal thing. I felt like because you came out with this topic and it's been getting traction, a lot of people have been talking about it. And of course, you're going to have people that don't agree. I don't think you have to. I don't think the exchanges that you had called for anyone to go that low and to go into somebody's personal information to and put that out to the internet. See, that's why I think people take stuff, to take things too far sometimes. I don't think it called for all of that. It's not like you actively went out and sought some information to dock somebody else. And, you know, I could see if it was a response to something, but that wasn't the case. You just came out and said, hey, we need a better class of women. This, and then there was a whole thing about you. And I'm like I said, Faith, when are you coming out with the next series on that? Because I know you said that you're going to be doing a series. So what do we?
Yeah, so it's going to be weekly. I'm going to try to do at least 2 to 3 videos a week until I'm done with the series. And I think the series is important because better does not mean perfect.
Right.
Okay, and this is what I think a lot of women are missing. And I tried in so many different ways to explain this. But when I say better, you know, you're going to go to the grocery store and you're going to look at that pile of tomatoes. Are you just going to, you know, indiscriminately pick up any tomato from that pile? Or are you going to try to find the best tomato you can find?
Right.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. See, people want to act as if there isn't better, when everything we do in our everyday life is kind of calling for us to choose something better for ourselves, and that includes bettering who we are as individuals. Now, if you want to be a rotten tomato, you know, that's your choice. But if I say I don't want to be a rotten tomato, then that's my choice. That doesn't mean that I'm going to force anybody's hand and say, you gotta, you know, do what I do. But I'm saying that I want to draw the.
Are you there? I think she
Faith
went out.
cut off.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. She cut. Damn, she cut out. She'll be back. I guess something.
Yeah.
Are you there, Faith?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good now. Go ahead.
Yeah, we get you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm gonna have to get a new mic. This one right here is cuts in and cuts out all the time. But yeah, there is always something better, and that's what I think is disingenuous about a lot of the women that's coming up against me. I'm not trying to make anybody choose better. If you don't want to choose to be better, that's on you. If you think that what you're doing right now is hey, peachy king, and you're not a lifelong learner, you're not going to continue to improve and grow as long as you have breath in your body, then so be it. Some people have said, hey, I made it to my destination. Here I am.
Right.
Me, as long as I got breath in my body, I'm going to continue to try to improve, because we all can. There's no such thing as, hey, I'm good where I'm at. No. There's always room for improvement.
Yeah,
Or even just looking in your past and, you know, trying to glorify, you know, what you did or whatever, and not trying to tell other women to be careful or whatever, you know. I just, you know, I do feel like the class of women who chose to do certain things or whatever can improve, and I think that in certain conversations when women can't talk about them, women also improve. They just like, oh, they can just do what they do. And, you know, it's just like no matter what the age you are, you want to try to promote the Black family first, you know, not this nonsense or whatever. Like, we already know that what women have to do for survival, but it's just like, why don't we try to put our daughters in a position where they don't have to do that for survival? You understand? Why don't we have that conversation? Because this is just nuts. I'm like, y'all really struggling this bad? Like, what is this conversation about? You know?
And you know what, gynocracy, I kind of had to hammer down on that the hardest, even though we have other issues. And I am tailoring a better class of women specifically for Black women, because they have this stuff for, you know, other groups of women, you know, overall women and stuff like that, but it's not inclusive to the issues that we as African American women are dealing with in our communities.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I'm gonna say this, Faith.
We definitely have to do better because we Black.
Yeah, like I think this topic is something that needs to be further explored, and I would go in deep with it as much and long as you can, because it's definitely causing, for better or worse, it is a discussion is being had. So it obviously is working, because if people are talking about it and discussing it, debating it, then it's definitely something that needs to be, continued. Maybe that may be, something that you can continue to talk about, give examples of it, because our community needs to be better. Better black women, better class of black women make a better black community. Black women are the gatekeepers to the community. They teach.
And I'm sorry, D Derell, to cut you off, but we need to know what right looks like. Like I said earlier in my monologue on my channel, those women sit up there and argue and fight with each other and disrespect each other all day, every day. They think it's normal. So if somebody like myself comes in and says, hey, something is wrong here, this is not normal.
Right.
Then I'm the outlier, because I'm the only one that's saying that this is not, what we should be doing. Like when I said to Miss Olivia on my channel that I felt uncomfortable and I felt like I was bombarded from all sides, I felt like people were taking personal attacks. That's because in my real life, this is not how I interact with my friends and my female family members. We don't curse each other out and then go back to being friends and then turn around and do it again like clockwork.
Right.
That's toxic, it's dysfunctional. So when a person that's not used to being in a toxic and a dysfunctional environment all the time enters that toxic and dysfunctional environment, they know what being disrespected is. But if you're in that environment all the time, you don't know what right looks like. And if somebody tries to tell you, then you're going to attack that person. And that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah. So it's almost like, I don't know, man, because my thing that got me when they started talking about the reasons a woman should sell her body, I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
I was like, they got to be capping. In my position, I'm like, I know they're not saying like, but that woman who's selling her body is no better than the woman who going to school, who don't have kids, who is doing the right thing, self-efficient. Is no way they the same. I'm sorry. At least to men, I know damn from a man perspective, we're not looking at it from that manner. We're not.
Okay, well, look at it like this, D Derell. Okay, the situation that they tried to get me to say that it's okay for a woman to sell her body, which I would never tell any young woman that it's okay to do that. Okay, say for instance that a person is in that dire situation where they got to make a choice. Either you sell your body or you do something else. Okay, is the woman that decides to pick up her cell phone, turn on Uber, and go and make a few deliveries and then cash out and buy her child food better than the woman who decides to get on, I don't know, a dating site or go stand on the corner and sell her body? Okay, who do you think is better?
Right.
Really, can we go also to the point where it'd be better if even if she went to McDonald's, even if she worked at Amazon, because that's what they're gonna say. They say, what if she don't have a car? Trust me, Faith, they try for they gonna go to that.
They did you got a car. I'm like, what the hell? What if she ain't got nothing? And what you gonna do?
But what I'm saying is, you have to be able to distinguish what right looks like. Of course, the woman who decides to do Uber is better than the woman who decided to lay on her back. She is the better class of woman, even if she's poor and even if she doesn't have money, because of her moral standard and values.
Right.
Yeah, but and another thing too is the reason why I also brought up Bossy Empress TV is because when I said what I've been through in my personal life is like I had to go into a shelter for 8 months to get my voucher. And it takes a humble woman to be in a dire situation, Faith. Like, I mean, like dire. Like, you don't have no car. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a license to even go through the channels of, getting a Uber car or whatever the fuck. Like, so you can be in a dire situation. And I think that's what a lot of people will turn away from this conversation, is because a lot of people want to remove the classism for the conversations. I know when people roast each other, they start getting classes. However, it's to the point where these women, these sugar babies will be in a dire situation. And instead of humbling themselves, going to the shelter, getting their kids back, working on getting education, go back to work activity, get their TCA back, and so that way they can have a better life, better than sucking dick on the street and your kids is at your grandmother house and you stressing you stressing their grandmother house and you stressing out your mama and stuff like that. You out there selling ass. That's not cool neither. Then you get online and tell your business. You know what I'm saying? And people are recording. Right. You don't know if your kids is going to see it.
I have told people so many times that you know the sugar daddies do not appreciate sugar babies that run their mouth like that.
Yeah, no. That's the quickest way to lose it.
And you have nothing, and you can't even humble yourself. If somebody would tell you, hey, this shelter is giving out vouchers, all you got to do is work the program to get your children back. You'll be okay. You won't do it because you think sucking dick and showing your titties online is the way to get money. You think that's the only way to even get yourself in a place. Online crying. No, you have to pick yourself up. It's hard being in the shelter, yes, but even in that dire situation, we're not talking about doing that. Don't nobody want to talk about that.
But my question is to this, and I'm gonna throw this at the women. Like a woman coming out saying that she is she's a current sex worker. This is me, just like, and I say this about Taz. Taz ain't got the right to talk about shit on YouTube or anything else. I don't understand how a sex worker can get up here and have an opinion on every goddamn thing. And nobody said, like, the way she rolled, like, I'm talking about Bossy Empress, all of these little opinions that she got about this and that, does she really have the right to talk about anything, about anybody?
No.
She really You look raggedy as fuck. That's number one. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you can say whatever.
She looked like she ran through. I'm sorry, but
my thing is, you're a sex worker that obviously was not making any money, because if you was making money, you wouldn't have been homeless and stranded, and you was begging black men for money.
Is that the one that GMT did that video on?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No.
Children, babe.
She was on your panel, Faith. She was on your panel like a month ago when you was talking about something about Kevin Samuel and the lady that remember that crazy lady talking about the shower with Kevin Samuel talking, his dumb ass talking about you should believe the man over the girl, talking about she saw the man watching her in the shower thing. You remember? You don't remember that?
Okay. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, that was her.
Yeah, that was her.
Oh, wow.
She was. You had a lot of people. I actually did a review of that. I did I took a 15-minute snippet of you on that thing where they were women on there talking about all kinds of stuff that I felt, that I didn't like. And I prefaced the fact that, wait a minute, lady, how are you sitting here trying? And because this is what I didn't like. And I know that you blocked the person that said some stuff but they were in there making it about all black men being pedophile pets and stuff like that, and graping and all this other stuff. And I'm like, why are these women talking like about, I took offense to them saying these things about black men as if this is the average black man that's doing these things. And she was one of them talking about nakedness and these black men are trying
that's
to
divestment language. That's that divestment stuff.
She was on your and the thing about it, what made me mad about, well, I didn't get mad, but what made me disgusted with the fact is that half of those women on there don't even support your channel like that. But they took it upon themselves to come up there and that was like it was at least 3 or 4 of them that I know I've never seen on your channel before. And I watch your channel almost every time you go live. So I took issue with the women that didn't necessarily deal with you like that, but I know you open the panel to everybody, but you come up there saying all this stuff, this divisive language and stuff, and that I felt that wasn't necessary. But yes, she was in there talking all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, just a few weeks ago, you was begging us for money. And now all of a sudden, we the worst, we the scum of the earth. And I'm like, who are you to your background to talk about anybody being anything?
Wow.
Seriously, I mean, I'm serious. I just like, wow. I'm like, lady, you were telling us. She flat out said, and Ganoxy Takeover could be my witness. I'm living out of my car. I don't have no money. I
Yep.
don't have a place to stay. You know.
She said we're leaving she said we're leaving next month. Please send anything you can. She thought Cynthia G 100K subscribers, over 100K subscribers was gonna, it was gonna move over to her. She was gonna get a little sauce. She ain't get shit.
She didn't get nothing. And then the thing about it, she was asking black men, could y'all, and I was getting ready to donate to it because I donate to a lot of people. If somebody say whatever, I'll try to help. If I, depending on the person, if I like them, I may.
D Derell, definitely look out for me. Thank you, D
But
Derell.
D Derell, ever since I announced A Better Class of Women, I have been getting a lot of emails from people that have been watching in the class. I didn't know how many people from how many different areas of the sector had caught wind of this thing.
Man, I've had people email me, Faith. I've had people email me about this and asking more about you. And I was telling them about your content and, as far as, me knowing you and stuff. I've had people asking me because they seen me on the panel and stuff. They was asking, so what's, it's guys from the manosphere watching this and wondering where you going with this.
I know that's right. So I'm like, and there's nothing wrong with that. And they want to try to get ready for that, Faith. Get ready for that.
Yeah. So my thing is, I would take it and run with it. I constantly go into it. See what they really waiting on you to do, Faith. They waiting on your talking points for you to like you going in as far as in depth with your talking points. Because as soon as you start saying all your talking points, people are going to be trying to say stuff against the talking points and try to disprove your talking points. That's really what they waiting on. They waiting on you to start, giving out certain points, certain, stances on certain things. And then they're gonna critique those talking points. That's what they're waiting on. Because
I already know, D Derell, I've been fighting the manosphere for a long time. But see, I'm not really interested in going back and forth with them. I'm interested in having a better class of women for my daughters.
Right.
It's the accountability factor. And let me just say this, because it's going to be a lot of people that's not going to like what I have to say. And, I had a lot of women that rock with me all the time behind the scenes. Tell me, hey, I don't agree with this because, I dance like this or I dress like this and, this, that, and the other. They want to, continue to do these things. I say there's nothing wrong with having fun, but there is a time and a place. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, don't sit up here and try to turn every situation into a party. Like the funeral, like in the grocery store, like at the graduation, you know what I'm saying? Like everything is not an occasion for you to show up and show out and show your ass.
Right. I agree.
And they hate when I say this. And there is a distinct difference between a prostitute and a lady.
Yeah, definitely.
And the Jezebels, they hate that term, but I'm just going to use it loosely to mean prostitutes, people, women that women that want to use their body, to sell their body or whatever. That's what I'm using Jezebel in terms of, because with YouTube you can't be putting hoe in the title. Right. So I have to use something else. So Jezebel is it. Okay. And so everybody want to get
I like that. I don't know why I love 304. I'm not even gonna lie. I know that came from the Manosphere Spaces, but that's I love 304. I don't know why.
Yeah, and everybody uses 304, but Jezebel triggers them even more than 304. So I don't know why.
Are we to say that women are just supposed to do whatever they want, and I guess it's okay? There's no limit. There's no
but see, there's limits to even
Jezebel's line to be drawn in regards
but they take too far.
What's a chaste woman? Like you just do anything, and we supposed to just take that as the okay behavior by doing whatever? Like we just supposed to just excuse anything? I mean, I help me understand that because that don't make sense to me.
I remember people could not go to my grandmother's house unless they were dressed appropriately and they had to take their shoes off before they crossed her front door. She had them type of standards.
Wow.
So everybody in the neighborhood knew this. You weren't going to go up in there cussing. That's another thing. Like the older generation of women, some of them, you can't go in their house cussing. Right. I remember this. I had to watch my tone and my words around her. She has that type of standard for her household.
Right.
And if you didn't want to come to her house and act right, you couldn't get in the door.
She had standards.
Exactly.
There has to be limitations. There has to be a creed of, and see, that's what the Black community is missing. This whole thing about you just do whatever and it is what it is, and you know, you can't judge me, and it's almost like every behavior is an okay behavior, and that's just not no, that's just not gonna work.
You know what's really surprising to me about this whole dressing thing, and I hate to go back to it, but if you tell somebody, hey, dress for the occasion, they act as if you done just cuss them out. No, I do what I want to do. I wear what I want to wear. I show up to your mama house in my booty shorts if I want to, But then, hold on. It's 5 o'clock. It's time for me to go to work. Let me go grab this suit out here. They got the buttons that go all the way up to my neck, because they be tripping over there writing folks up at the job. Now, all of a sudden, you know how to dress when it's time to go to work. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Facts.
Isn't it amazing?
Facts.
Then get fired for twerking in their uniform on TikTok, girl.
And that's what I'm saying. You want every opportunity to turn something into a freaking party, and it's not. There's a time and a place for everything.
I'm like this, man. There comes a point, like, say for instance, I look at it no different than there's certain content creators, and I know particularly one. He's still dressing like he 18 years old. He a grown ass 40-year-old plus man. And every time you see him, he dressing no different than my 16-year-old son. Same kind of clothes. Like that. Where's the maturity? Like I'm, like you don't like. I mean, I know for women, and I know Faith, you're talking about dressing as far as the environment and the occasion. Everything can't be a party, but there's men. They got the white tees, they got t-shirt. They don't have a suit. They don't have button-up shirts. They don't have a suit and shirt and tie. Like what you still dressing like you want to be young. I remember when I was young, when we saw women or men acting like they were young, we was laughing at them. That shit was funny to see somebody trying to still act like they're young, and they like, I'm 20 something and they like 45, 50, and they trying to dress like me being 20 years younger. We used to laugh at the stuff like that. Now it's like whatever, like you say, and everything goes. I guess nobody wants to, it's like whatever. And like, people getting mad. And to me, it's no different. Like me growing up in churches, I grew up in the church. As many times I saw older women in the church would pull a little girl over the side, a little teenager or a younger woman, and tell them to button up their shirt or pull your dress down or something. I've seen that happen many times. So have we lost that? Like where now you don't have the right to say nothing to anybody?
Those women in church was shaming that they were slut shaming her.
Wow.
That's what they would say. They would say that those old ladies in church was slut shaming those young women.
I mean, they were very, they was nice and respectful about it, but that's just a level of standard.
Can I also say that in certain religious situations, the way I'm so respectful, like I just don't I can't explain it, but I just don't believe that you should dress a certain way. I
Right.
just I just think that that's in every spiritual pantheon covering up, and you can't hide it. It's in Hinduism, it's in Buddhism, it's in it's in Catholicism, it's in a lot of sections in Christianity. And for the fact that you don't have no respect for holy grounds, period, no matter the spiritual pantheon. Even if I'm walking past a mosque, like a Muslim mosque, I don't believe in Islam, but I'll cover up because I don't know. That's just the way I am. A lot of women don't think about that. That's just me. You don't have to do that. I'm just saying. A lot of women don't have that respect, and I feel like you should have respect for holy ground. That's just me. I'm just very spiritual and stuff like
Just
that.
the respect
And
for
I
the
know every spiritual pantheon talks about covering. It's not that deep. You know what I'm saying? You have one job. When you step into any house of God, no matter where it is, no matter if it's a mosque, church, even a Hindu temple, definitely that is definitely the place where you don't just wear anything, and you are being disrespectful if you come in there with your titties all out. That's not the place. Period. It's just not. It's distasteful. You know what I'm saying?
So my thing is that I understand the thing about why does being liberated have to be equated with doing, you know, out of over the top stuff. It seems like a lot of the times when I'm hearing in the sector, when people are talking about like women having the right to do things, it's like they're picking the fact that women have a right to do negative things. They're not talking about like women using their rights and their liberation to do other things to uplift or to be positive to themselves, other women in the community. It's always towards doing negative stuff like that. Like, you know, I don't get that. It all and I noticed that as I see it on television and other different social media outlets, it's always the negative that is brought up as far as them having the right. It's never about doing positive, you know, things for some reason.
It's
That's because some of these women, not all, they have lived their lives doing the negative, and they call it fun. Now, don't sleep on that word fun. I was having fun. That means I was sucking a bunch of penises. I was having fun. I was screwing everybody. I was having fun. I was taking my top off in public.
Right.
Pay attention to the word fun.
Child, I've been out with a black woman who would do shit like that, and an older black woman that I was with made excuses for her, and I was looking at her like she was crazy. She would take out her titties anywhere, and she would beg for jury beads and laugh. And she would twerk on niggas. She would get drunk and she would take 2 sips of some alcohol and beg for the waitress, like beg to fuck them. She would be loud as shit talking about something. I'm gonna call my man right now, come fuck me, girl. And we just be looking like, oh, like it was embarrassing. And I never went out with her again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I see her, it's cordial. I be like, hi, and then bye. Ma'am.
And this is the friend that always want to hook you up with somebody. And the people that they try to hook you up with think you like her. And then they come to you all wrong. Don't ever let a friend like that try to hook you up with nobody.
Hell no. Hell no. I didn't even want to be. I didn't want to even. I was like, I was embarrassed. It was shameful.
Right.
It was what day was it? St. Patrick's Day, and we was at TGI Fridays. Girl, they was playing R&B music. She sitting there twerking and shit all loud. We the only ones in the restaurant, and she like showing her titties.
Oh my God.
Ah!
That's embarrassing.
Come on, Jerry.
What's
Like,
up, BMT?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you here, man. What's up, brother? That was funny, guy.
Well, no,
I'm so serious. She did that everywhere we went, even at work.
Go ahead, BMT.
It's anarchy.
Anarchy.
No, but that's the whole point of it. Anything that goes against that of functionality, or literally can say, well, I've heard it. I've heard it before. Like I said, like one of my old clientele that hired me was a stripper, and she said anything to piss off the ops, that's what they would do. So if it was something as to where this is not ladylike, well, that's man's law. We making our own laws, and so that in that mindset. Well, guess what? A lady don't sleep on the first date. Shit. Well, that's the old thing. Why can't we do it too? And then you'll say, well, you want to reserve yourself. Well, why can't I do that shit? Men can fuck, so why can't I fuck? True, you can. You can, but shit, I mean, no offense, but and they'll always be, if they can do it, I can do. That's on anything they can do, I can do better. I can do anything better
Right.
than you. And you got to be careful, because then you start playing that I can do whatever they do. But then I always tell them that, listen now, it's like that girl at high school. She sleep with one person on the football team, and you know what they're gonna say about her name? She loosey goosey. But hold up, but all I did was just show my titties. But now they running with that. Now they take it to a whole nother level, because you thought that you could play that game. And sometimes certain things they try to, is to protect your image. And this is why you started seeing the different thing of the rebranding of the image. Grandma she was a doormat. She got walked over. She was weak. She let men control her. I've heard this. But I'm like, hold on now. Hold on. My grandma ain't no weak, and she ain't no sucker. You know what I'm saying? But they will shame that type of class of a woman. Because
Wow. Yeah, you're right.
no, but
Hmm.
where am I lying? Because I understand when Faith was saying, like, yo, my grandma didn't tolerate that. You come in her house, you heard nothing but gospel music. You knew to be quiet, don't raise your voice. And if you listen, you wanted to eat, you had to wash up, be dressed a certain type of way, and X, Y, and Z. Because she had that
And,
type
and
of a
and
decorum.
my grandmother would call you a hoe to your face. I mean, she had no filter. You come in her
Because
house with some stuff
mhm.
on that see through, and she could see all your booty cheeks and everything, and she would call you a hoe. And then, if you tell her that, she's being disrespectful, she said, no, you disrespected me coming in here like that. That's what she'll tell you.
Yep. And my grandma did. I remember one time, one of the girls, my cousin brought, my cousin played the guitar, so he always was pulling women. And he brought a girl to the church. Now the girl, and the ladies will let you know, if a woman wore her dress a certain length, what would the older women do to her? They'll take a sheet and put it over her legs and cover her up. Now that would be considered slut shaming, but it actually is protecting that of the chastity of that woman. They're actually
Yeah, that,
protecting
that
her.
happened to me once. It happened to me once, BMT. I went to my aunt's church. I was just in the neighborhood. I was a teenager, and I had on some
Mhm.
tight jeans. Thought I was looking
Right.
good in a halter top. And I said, "Oh, damn, this is my auntie Sheila church right here. I see her car outside. Let me go run in and say hi." So I ran in there and I saw my auntie Sheila. The church was over. The old people like to hang out, around the back of the church. My auntie Sheila saw me coming up in there with them tight pants and that halter top on, and she hurried up and grabbed a sheet and put it around me. She was like, "Girl, you was inside the church building. You was not outside the church building." She said, "If you wanted to come say hi, whatever, you could you need to have done that, when you were dressed more appropriate." That's what she explained to me. And I began to respect the church from then on out. I never went into the church dressed any old kind of way ever again.
But see, that's when they changed up on it, where I started hearing "come as you are." I said, oh shit, they done ran with that one. Because now all of a sudden, let's twerk for Jesus. And then all of a sudden, then they start changing up the mantra of different other talk points. I'm like, hold up, bro. I understand if you don't have any clothes, fine. But you got to have there's a certain level of respect, not only for the people just around you, but for yourself. See, and that's the thing about it when people say that, and I get it. Okay, so you want to break loose, you want to be free, fine. But at a certain point, it's just like a child. At some point, we got to tell the child, okay, you got to come back to the yard. Okay, don't eat no, you can't eat them sweets. Why? You always tell me, when I get big, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want to do. Okay, but as long as you're in this house, you're gonna follow my rules. And I've dated girls who say, well, shit, I'm gonna do when I got out of my mama's house, I did what the hell I wanted to do. Well, damn. Well, shit. Well, how far did you take it? And see, you have the this is why I said, God damn, I'm not sure everybody was watching Players Club. Did y'all not learn anything from Diamond? Shit. Like, I mean, damn. After a while, you go down these yellow brick roads and see the thing about it, you have some
These
girls,
customers deserve more.
some women didn't mind telling their daughters, don't be like me. Okay? Some women did not mind telling their daughter. Now, that's not saying mama was shameful. She did not want you to have it hard like she did. But my mama told that to my sister. Listen, don't make the mistakes I made, okay? But nowadays, shit, child, fuck it. Break all the eggs in the goddamn cart. So you not caring, because you don't want it, but you had time to pass your child off to grandma gynocracy. You had time to do X, Y, and Z. Listen, I seen a damn girl and her friends riding. They rode up to the club around what time was it? 2:00 in the morning. The goddamn baby sitting. I said, what the baby doing? Oh, you know, my little nigga, he don't want to be quiet. So we just took him out with us. Hey, is my man in there? I said, the fuck? Oh, hell no. Tarquaza, what the hell you brought my baby out? Well, you need to get to the house. I said, oh, shit. I said, listen, ma'am, you can't have that baby here. You can't bring that baby to the club. Well, tell him to come out because we ain't going nowhere.
What?
I had to kick the dude out. I had to kick him out the club, gynocracy. But I said, listen, if using that baby to get this man out that club, that's
Wow.
But see, you got it where some people don't care who get caught in the crossfire. And you got to call out certain type of volatile behavior.
So she was willing to put her baby in harm's way?
She brought the baby to the club. Sure,
damn, man, that's crazy.
That baby was right there. That girl was 28 years old. Her baby was right there with her and her homegirls, bonded up. Goddamn, had them furry ass, you know, them damn furry ass sandal shoes they like to wear.
Not furry sandals.
They rolled deep in that goddamn Pontiac 6 deep, and 2 babies sitting up in there.
Mm-mm.
And I was like, damn, can't tell y'all nothing. They asking me to go in there and get them a couple Patron. I said, hell no, nigga. Get y'all no.
Hey,
you know
not you got the
But hold on, but we don't need a better class of women, though.
But see, don't girls.
That's class right there. That's real class.
That was class. And everybody was, oh no, women don't do. Okay, fool yourself.
Yo, I know women that do shit like that. That's the crazy. Like, yo, one girl at the shelter, she left her newborn baby on the floor. The baby just started crawling. Left the baby on the floor to go suck some nigga dick and talking about she wanted some weed. And I was like, but your baby is on the floor. Your baby is on the floor. Wow. Man, her baby, then she left her baby by the dresser. Her baby almost slammed her fingers. Something told me, get up, because I was in the cafeteria area and I seen her just randomly leave out. She said, I'm ready to go see so-and-so. I see y'all later, because she ain't smoke all day. I'm sitting here looking like, oh Lord, let me go check on this child baby. Look, and her baby is by the dresser ready to slam her fingers. And I picked her up and I said, you couldn't even put her in the crib or tell one of us to watch her. didn't think to do that when you went, and then she came back crying like, "Girl, like he's so verbally abusive. Like I just ended up stopping mid fuck, like and then I was high shit, and it was good, but it was just." I'm like, "Ma'am, like you left your baby on the floor. Then her son was up there fighting another little boy at the shelter. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?"
But see, I'm gonna tell you right now, and see the thing about it is, but like I said, I don't mind talking to women at the shelters because I know a lot of people they need help. But the problem is sometimes they're supposed to go there to get away out of their abusive situation. And gynocracy, we can have that conversation. They tell their boyfriends that they're there. So instead of finishing the step program, nigga, come get me, man. I can't take this shit. These people want to take away my phone. But you're not supposed to have a phone there, really. When you start out,
Right.
you
They do be having a lot. Matter of fact, I just had a conversation with there's a place called like the Star of Hope where they're having women that are homeless and they're giving them vouchers, but they making them I mean I don't know what y'all feel, but they are making them do a lot of stuff. Like they actually making them go to Bible study. They making them
it is. You
get
gotta
their
be careful
GED.
which one you go to. I was lucky enough that the one I was at wasn't a pack and go. We could stay overnight. We had, but when I was there, it was real strict, and it was. I actually had a lot of videos on it. I put it on private because Taz bitch ass, well, Anala was.
Are you serious?
Talking shit about me, talking shit about my situation on Patreon and shit, and I didn't know, or Discord.
This nigga homeless. How he gonna talk about anybody?
Yes, but I was talking about how I was resilient and I was successful with my shit,
Yeah,
nigga. You never had no nothing.
And so he can talk about anybody.
So when you're in that situation, like it's ran like a plantation for real. Like it is hard to deal with. It is stuff that you go through. But me personally, they never made us go to no church, but they did make us like have parenting classes on Wednesdays. And I'm not even gonna lie, I enjoyed parenting classes. I did. It was a cool little white lady. She would have us meditate. I had fun. Now, sadly enough, I didn't like the black lady classes. I felt like she was bullshitting us. I said, like, ma'am, she was talking about us fasting and shit. She came up there on some fake Erykah Badu shit. I said, ma'am, get the fuck out of here. You always going up on her every single class.
And that's the thing about it. That's the thing about it where some people come in and out of broken homes and structures where, you know what I'm saying? Like I met one girl, she was in and out of the shelter. And she said, listen, I lost 5 of my kids. I don't know where they at. And I'm like, damn. And I said, well, if you could go get them, would you go get them? She said, I don't think I would want to because what can I give them? And I said, well, shit, you got to want better for yourself. But she's like, I don't know how to. I don't know how to be a better mother because all I know is the streets. And I'm not saying that's right, but you get what I'm saying? Like, if
I get exactly what you're saying. That's what I said earlier, BMT. A lot of us do not know what right looks like because we've been in the environment that was toxic for so long. That if somebody come along and try to tell you what's right, you think that they're weird.
And see that's why when I be hearing some of the women, I'm gonna be for real. When I be hearing some of the women on these panels saying, "Oh, bitch this, bitch that," I'm like, "Damn!" I feel like I'm in the stripper dress room where all they do is call each other bitch and shit and cursing each other out, and then they plotting on each other.
A lot of them are strippers and prostitutes and sugar babies. That's why.
And so
they be like, "Bitch, you ran through," and I be like, "But both of y'all got a pass. Shut the fuck up!" Like that also comes with acting accordingly and not tearing each other down and apart because everybody on here is not perfect. It don't mean that you're a perfect woman. It don't mean that you had a perfect past. But the fact that you're willing to pull that out on another woman and a woman can say the same thing about you, that goes into being a better class of woman as well. You know damn well you don't have no business sounding like that and you got a pass. You know, don't be a hypocrite. I feel like that goes into having class too. That's why I always address that shit. I'm like, hold on, y'all arguing, y'all going back and forth.
Gynocracy, that's being humble. Like when I told people about my situation, where I got arrested, I went 40 plus years having a squeaky clean criminal background. Now I got something on my criminal background in this old age. And guess what? I was humbled by that situation. I had to humble myself. And I had to take a L. I had to take responsibility, accountability for what I did. But if you tell people that you taking accountability and that you're trying to, change and grow from a bad, they still want to say, "Oh, you're bastardized." Now, I can respect a woman that tells me that she used to be a prostitute, but she saw how it was very risky and how she was putting her life at risk all the time and her health. And so she was humbled because she came into a situation that humbled her and she began to change her path. I respect that all day long. That is a better class of woman than the prostitute that's the proud prostitute. Hey, I'm a
Yeah.
prostitute. I get my screw on. That's what they were saying over there. Hey, I know I sure use my vagina. I'm proud of that.
Look, it's to immune what one
They
girl
say
told
I'm
me.
a sell it if I got to.
See, no, I'm gonna tell you how
Right,
one
but
girl
see,
told.
I can respect the prostitute that says I used to do this, but I saw the error of my ways and I course corrected and changed. I'm not proud of what I did in the past. But the people that's steady doing the toxic behavior, talking about I'm a proud side hoe. Oh yeah, I go and I'll tell you
I've
whole
seen that
marriage.
a lot, Faith. That was sickening. And then I used to tell the women like it's dangerous, and y'all perpetuating this angry black woman because then when the main chick do something or the wife do something to you, now she ain't shit and all this other stuff and all this, like she's so angry, like you angry, and it's like you messing with somebody, man, and y'all don't give a fuck. And it was a whole movement on Facebook of feminists talking about how they was a being a side chick. They not gonna ask no man if he's single. It really don't fucking matter. And these niggas lie anyway. And it's just like y'all had one job and y'all not gonna do it. They even talked about even went to a psychology of a woman befriending another woman just because she don't want her around her man. I'm like, if she do that and plotted that out, that's a dangerous ass bitch. She's going to unalive you, woman. Leave her alone. Leave her man alone. Okay.
The thing
Well, I
about it
was
is,
listening to a live stream. I'm not going to say the name of the content creator, where they are, what they say, not have black male babies, then vet the man and not get pregnant in the first place. There was one woman on
Huh?
that panel that
Wait,
talked
wait,
about
wait, wait,
vetting.
wait, Faith. Wait a minute, Faith. What? Say that again. I didn't follow that. Say that again.
Okay, I was on a panel. Not going to say the name of the content creators, but it was a group of ladies. I was watching them. I think Gynocracy Takeover may know what I'm talking about. But they were saying that they would rather not have black male babies than,
Okay.
or have an abortion, you know what I'm saying? Then,
Okay.
not get pregnant in the first place. Then just vet the man and find out, if he is a good fit for you in your life before you even get pregnant. And there was one woman on that panel that mentioned the word vetting. That mentioned that, hey, why not just not get pregnant by them in the first place, or if you don't
Oh, I
like,
know who you're talking
don't
about.
deal with
Yes.
them. And all those
I
women
was
turned on that woman.
there.
They turned on that woman. They talked about her like a dog.
Are you
And
serious?
she never returned to that panel ever again.
Then they made it seem like she was
Wow.
being shady because she put her nephew in one of her videos, and she always did that. Because I was following her prior to her merging with that other content creator. And I'm not going to say her name because whatever, but because you don't want to say her name. But whenever, like when she did that live stream, they was like, she's trying to be smart with that gorilla baby. And I'm like, why y'all calling her child? Wasn't her child, but her nephew, whoever. Even if it was her child, it's not none of y'all fucking business. Look how y'all talking about that fucking baby, calling it a gorilla baby, just because it's a black boy. That's not
Wow.
right.
That sounds like some
That's sad.
divestment channel.
that sounds like some racial, that sounds some racial
But no,
shit. But
they claim not to be divestors though. So
Oh wow.
But see, that's that shit right there, man. Where the sisterhood can't be checked. because I've heard Rod say some crazy shit like that. That's why I'm like, at this point, men, we can't do it. It has to be done internally by the women now. Because at this point, it's like you got to send a Terminator to kill a Terminator. You got to go get a woman to go take out the other women. Because ultimately, after a while, they'll start turning. Because
But see, what's going to happen is you usually have one voice of reason in the room, and then you'll have about 3, 4 other women that are not on your side, and it turns into a jumping. It turns into a jumping. That's what happens. And
I
so
say,
you have to be strong, you have to be courageous, you have to be steadfast in your voice and in your message. People are going to come at you with all types of lies. They're going to pull up your past. They're going to try to tarnish your reputation. It's a lot that goes into them wanting to keep things the way it is, the status quo. So now this woman is off on her channel doing her thing, and she's very successful, by the way. But I felt as if she was the better class of woman in that situation.
no, and the thing about it, Faith, and like I said, like, it's one of those things where talking about those things, you gotta understand dysfunctionality when all they know is that the bag, and or literally certain destructive talking points. I respect you so much because you're doing something that's not easy. And you're going to have people who are going to say that they're riding with you to get you on so that way they can get you off. Like, I see that, and I'm not sure if you see that whenever you're doing panels, all of a sudden people will just jump on there, start talking about random shit that don't got nothing to do with your topic. And I said, oh, there's an op. That's an op. Like, let her get the message out because it's a distraction from the problem that needs to be addressed.
Well, look at how Miss Olivia came on my panel that day. She came on and she admitted, because I asked her after she got off what she wanted to get off, because she came to my panel to ask me why I felt the way I felt. And I said, because I felt that way. I said, those are my feelings. You know what I'm saying? And she kept going on. Well, I don't know why you feel this way. And and I was like, hey, take it down. You know what I'm saying? Those are my feelings. I'm entitled to my feelings. Well, you entitled to the way you feel. I'm entitled to the way. I'm like, yes, you are. I said, how can we get past this situation? Because it was going to go round and round. And that's what she came to my channel to do. That's why I told people I wasn't trying to handle her. I was trying to moderate my show and keep my show on even keel with my message and not let her come on there and derail it with her personal vendetta against me. And asked her, did you have anything to say about the topic?
No. I felt you on that, and I'm glad you started laying out rules. I'm glad other people are. It's a slow churn.
But I asked her, I said, did you have anything to say about my topic? And her answer was, oh, no, I just came here to, just get that out. Okay. I'm talking. My topic.
She come from the beef sector, so she's from the beef sector. You got to also remember that.
Right, but
there's a lot of merging going on with the beef sector.
I hate that they're coming over here because, see, the thing about it is the same thing as if you go to church. When you go to church, you do in church what they do in church. If you're in the black sector and we're not the beef sector, don't come to my channel because my channel is not a beef channel. Everybody knows that. Respect my channel. But respect is the number one word here. These women that say they want to do what they want to do, what they're saying is they don't want to respect other women.
Right. It's sad to say, but Faith, hoes beef, strippers beef, prostitutes beef, ain't shit broads beef. Like that's what you gotta. Don't you be watching goddamn all them shows and stuff? All them shit. What do them women normally be doing on them shows? They beef. They have problems. That's what makes it lively. That's what makes it entertaining. No, fan, nobody gives a shit about them dudes beefing, but they love watching the women.
And then they still want to be up under you. That's the weird thing about it. They still be like, I like you. I love you. They still want advice from you. They still want to take your energy from you. That's the weirdest thing about it too.
It's a
That is weird, gynocracy. I never understood that. You
no
just
no no.
got through cussing
It
me
makes
out,
sense,
but
it
but
makes
now all
sense.
of a sudden, yo, you love me. You know, I don't get that.
It's used to create confusion. So and then
But
they
you know
also
what?
do the
You know what I
Mhm.
noticed, guys? I kind of seen that, like, if you all saw the little back and forth between Bomb and Sister George, I noticed that they may scream and holler and curse, and then after about 20 minutes, well, Bomb, you need to take this back, and I'm sorry for this. They did that like
There is
five
no
times.
way that I would be
That
making
shit was
good with
that
a
shit was
woman.
funny, man. I didn't understand that. It's like they gotta get it out, and then by after 20 minutes,
That
now we want to talk about what we should.
that's why I think a lot of y'all are crazy as fuck because
But hold on,
ain't no
but
way.
see, D Derell,
I'm
this
sorry, no,
woman,
no,
this
y'all.
woman was sitting up here. Wasn't it just last week or just 2 weeks ago? She was talking about ratting her husband's face. I would not be making good with a woman that
Who
says
said
she's going
that?
to Bomb Cherry.
Yes. She
Bomb
was
Cherry
real
Oh,
said
she
proud of
said
she
that
that.
about Kerwin?
rag her husband's face.
Multiple times. She said, your
That's
husband is far as
I missed that.
motherfucking
I missed
Chicago.
that one.
that's why I say some of them are
She
crazy
said
as
she was
fuck.
gonna be riding her husband. No, wait. She said her husband, or she said Kerwin?
Curling.
I sent him pictures of
Kerwin?
my
Oh
pussy. Playing
Y'all
no,
crazy as I told you they
with
crazy,
my
man.
pussy,
Like
bitch.
no,
I
no.
think some of y'all
That was
Sorry, but I'm gonna have
disrespectful.
to say it
That shit
again.
was funny,
I'm
but it's
sorry. I'm gonna have
disrespectful.
to say it again, y'all. I'm gonna have to say it again. I'm better than that. I am better than that. I'm sorry.
I wish I had that kind
But
of
no,
strength.
sorry, not sorry.
I wish I
Damn,
had
man,
that kind of
I missed that one.
I didn't. I didn't miss it. See, this is why
Yeah,
I
a
said
lot of women, man. You tell a lot of women stuff like that, they'll never take that shit. That's fighting. Let's let you
I
enemy
try,
for
but
life.
listen, see, that's the logic, man. That's that dysfunctional logic where it don't have to make sense anymore. It don't. Like this is why I said like so many people are from some fucked up, goddamn precious, goddamn P Valley backgrounds, man, where they on some shit where even though you fuck my man, I still fuck with you. What the fuck? Like, no, nigga, no. Like, why? How y'all
I've
Mm-mm.
still
seen that
friends, bro?
dysfunction too. And all of them was on drugs. Like, what the fuck is going on over here? In real life,
It's called man
they was
sharing.
all on drugs.
Man sharing.
Man, Sharon, god damn it,
Man,
shit. Like,
there's a
but
lot of
see,
man sharing going on.
I'm just saying, man. Like at this point, this is why Faith, you got an uphill battle, and I'm happy to see that there are people on the outside that are seeing it. So because when you've been in the dysfunction for so long, you can't tell you're in dysfunction. But because you're not invested like this, because you gotta be something wrong with somebody who can stay on for 8 hours at a time and just talk about nigga shit. Like at some point, you far beyond past like sensible talking points. So
I'm
when it gets
sorry, but there are other things in life that I enjoy. I enjoy watching my Netflix. I enjoy going out and to eat or going to the
life,
VR lounge and doing. I like virtual reality lounges. It's so much fun. Y'all got to try it one time. But I like doing stuff like that. I got other stuff that I do in real life. I can't be on this thing 24/7.
Hell
but see,
no.
but see,
No.
Sure in the
but here's
hell
the thing
can't.
about. But I'm gonna tell you
Yes.
right now. I'm
That's
gonna tell you right now.
yeah.
This is the thing about it that this is the thing about it that was told to me and I was letting some people at the VA. I always let people at the VA listen to this shit, and they're like, some of those people are trying to escape reality or their everyday life because if I could come here and be where the fuck I want to be, the best hoe, the best goddamn Tom, Dick, Harry, or be a hoe and stuff. Because they can't be open about that shit openly. You know what I'm saying? Or literally, Faith, you and Gynocracy remind them of something that they supposed to be, but they can't ever live up to be. Does that make any sense? So it pisses them off. Because damn, I'm not supposed to be ain't shit. I'm supposed to take care of my kids. Bitch, why you remind me of that dumb shit?
What happens is me and Garnocracy are the two ripe tomatoes that look good on the shelf. And they're the rotten tomatoes. And so they're sitting next to us like, this bitch thinks she better than me. Yes, that's because I am better than you. You are a rotten tomato. We not the same. And don't nobody want that rotten tomato.
Guys,
Right?
they don't even know the history of what they're pushing. They don't even know that. I'm like, you couldn't even just read, and you and Woman Spirit been dropping all this knowledge on how to be a better woman, the history of should we choose feminism versus womanism, and how that affects our lives as women, and they don't even know that. They don't know shit. I'm like, why is you even on this panel talking about
They will make it up as they
I don't
go
know,
along. They will make it up as they go along, and their audience who I guess hangs on their every word or not as smart, either, they eat it up. And I'm like, don't y'all know they lying? This is not right.
But Faith, some of them don't know. Shit.
If that's how you was always raised, then that's what you think.
Yeah.
See, because like you gotta understand, I knew shit was real or how much vitriol it was against a man. The minute protection, I brought up about protection. And they said, why does a man need to tell me how to live my life? I said, oh shit. They really have that much vitriol.
Wow.
That anything a man says to them is an act of war. So regardless if the man means well, because I done seen them turn on D Derell. I done seen them, they done turned on me. Any man that literally means well for women as well as for men's betterment, how dare a man tell me what to do as a woman? And so at that point, they're on whole demon time. Because you speaking and telling them, hey, ladies, it's not bad to take advice from a man. Oh, she's been out with the enemy. What? No, I'm with a man. It's okay. I don't mind if a woman give me good advice. That shit, good advice is good advice.
No matter where it come from.
But see, that's a problem. That's a problem, brother, because they're like, how dare you check me? Yeah, no reaction. That's right. They turn on you too. See, you notice that they turn on everything that literally is trying to have a balance. Life has to have a balance. And they're
Faith,
so out of balance. You can't.
They can't
now they
stand my
starting
shit.
to put CK and everything. His name popping up everywhere. I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah,
I feel
good luck reaction.
I feel angry because I know the type of man that I have. And before I got with CK, I was a whole woman. Like anybody that used to listen to my show back in the day, I was always about, hey, getting to know who you are, being happily single and everything else. I was happily single before I met CK. I wasn't even looking to get into no relationship. How me and him met was just completely, by accident. Right. All of us was in BBN and, he was, doing his little thing with the, edits and stuff like that. And we got to talking about content and then, something clicked. He's intellectual and I'm intellectual and it clicked. We had so much in common and he was a whole individual when I met him. He got, his investment business. He's highly successful man. Very business savvy and very smart with investments and finances. He's taught me a lot about investment and finances. So when I heard them talking about him as if they knew him based off a picture, it angered the hell out of me because this is one hell of a man. And I remember when I was on my show, I said, it's going to take a hell of a man to make me not want to be single anymore. And I met him. He's a hell of a man.
And
I'm
that's
happy
good,
for y'all.
a lot of women don't like that, man. They don't like saying that.
They don't.
They want the same experience.
And see, when you watch CK, it kind of fit. I'm not. I don't know. This I know this sounds weird, but it's kind of like you watching a black YouTube version of Law and Order SVU, because he be going in like he got like he just remind me, he just give me them vibes because he really be breaking down a lot of shit. And a lot of people is gonna be jealous because of that, because the way he go at the manosphere, now all of a sudden he went hard on them niggas. He even said all of them was, gay. So I'm like, what's the issue? What's the issue? He made a whole song up, and now y'all still mad? Like, come on, like that doesn't make any sense. I feel like a lot of people is just jealous because of that, And now they trying a lot talking about he wished death on somebody, but I understood what he was saying. He was saying like, until this generation die off, maybe we can raise the children now so we can have a better class of woman. Not that he wished Miss O and them was dead. I don't think that's what he meant. And
That's
I
not
could know
what he
that's
meant.
not what he meant. What the hell?
That's absolutely not what he meant. And he had been doing cremations even before them. Like he did a cremation on Kevin Samuels, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden they don't like the cremation, but they was over there kiki and laughing it up when it was Kevin Samuels he was doing a cremation on.
I think that's the problem.
Even my son laughing at that shit.
No, but see,
it was funny though. But you know what?
Problem.
Speaking of, it's a damn shame the people making money off of Kevin Samuels right now. making money off this man death. That's a damn shame. That's all I got to say about it.
Child, that's how I feel for real. This is a mess. This is a mess. The cremation for anybody else is shameful. You know what I'm saying? But not for Kevin Samuels. But only for Kevin Samuels. That's crazy. They want to create their own narrative. That's the thing. But I don't think he really meant that he wishing death on people. I don't like the fact.
No.
What CK does is what's called edutainment. So he does things. He'll put a lot of nougats of knowledge in his content, but it's in an entertainment form. So everything he does, is to educate you while entertaining you.
Yeah,
so
I appreciate it because I'm nerdy.
Right. Well, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this baby up. I'm almost at home and stuff, so I'm at the 2 hour 46 minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and do last words, and I'm gonna start with Ms. Gynocracy Takeover, and I'm gonna end with BMT. So any last words, Queen?
Faith, I really like
fun live.
Huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
It was a fun live. I really enjoyed this, Faith. I really like this new message that you have. It really just got me thinking about how certain spaces is just like really unproductive at this point and things of that nature. It's just getting to not be fun no more, okay? Because at one point saying that most black men have a grooming nature, but you want to be around those men for profit and go get groomed, it just don't make no sense to me. And this is what's pushed, and people have to know the risk. And they're not even talking about the risk. They're not talking about being discreet, and they talking about it online. So they just trying to normalize it. And that's really not a lifestyle that's normal. It's not common for people to be successful in those type of professions and things of that nature. And we have to be able to tell our children not to do it. It's not hard, to want to protect our babies that way. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and if you're in a dire situation and you don't have nothing, it's just best for you to try to find a shelter, call 211 in your area. You feel what I'm saying? Find a resource. Resources is better than you trying to dodge sucking penis out here in these streets. Okay, so be safe out here. That's all I wanted to say. Peace, D Derell.
All right. Appreciate you coming on, Queen. You have a good day.
You too.
All right. Thanks. Thank you, Gynocracy. Well, thank you, D Derell, for this stream. This stream was much needed. I am so pleased to know that the message is spreading abroad. You know, even if there are
Oh
some
yeah,
people.
it's spreading. Trust me, you'd be surprised who's watching you.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know it was gonna grow and like take off like this, but like I said, even if somebody else examines my message once the series is over and they see how they could tweak it and make it better and even enhance it and run with it and and help even more women, reach out and help even more women, I welcome that, because I just want to see a change. But I what I would ask is if you do this, please do not change the message of creating a better class of women. We're not talking about women that's going to be, glorifying being prostitutes and sugar babies and getting the bag and all of that. Sierra's level up message, it got hijacked. That was not her message. Her original message was for you to level yourself up first so that you can find somebody good. You have to first be that yourself. You will attract what you are. That's what the message actually was, but people did not understand it. And so they looked at it as, oh, Lord, she wouldn't got her a baller. She wouldn't got her a man to take care of her and she could live a life of leisure. That's all they see.
Right.
But they
Right.
didn't see that Sierra did a lot of inner work.
Mm-hmm.
She did a lot of inner work. She changed her social spaces and the people that she associated with, the type of men that she would entertain. She changed all that. So leveling up starts with you, boo.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow. Powerful message.
All right. Well, I'm gonna end it on that, D Derell. But man,
All right.
this
Well,
was
I'm
a
looking
fun
forward to
panel.
seeing the series. I'm definitely going to be watching with much interest. So you have a great evening, Queen.
All right. Same to you, King.
All right.
Bye, BMT.
See ya.
All right, Mr. BMT. Go ahead and end it off, man. Give me your last words. I know you got a lot as far as in summary of this particular live stream.
I've been in this space for years and watching it terraform and change, for sometimes the good and sometimes the worst. And I guess it's now the ladies, the women's turn to fight this fight for their souls. And I really do mean they're fighting for their soul, of literally trying to actually get corrective femininity, put corrective Black femininity back in its place. And it's not going to be an easy one. It's going to be a challenging one, because standing on the truth and standing 10 toes down is never going to be easy. But when you find people that are willing to follow and be with you on that message, you just need one or two good friends. That's all you need. And then you from there you can go the distance. And I'm very proud of Faith. I'm very proud of the women that are doing that. Not saying that there aren't men that are not helping and also encouraging. You have brothers like her man CK, like brother D Derell, myself, and other men. But this is something we as men support these women. That's the problem. When we see good, don't stay in silent. Support good women. Support good, classy, class women. Support them, support them, give them the tools. Just say, hey, keep up the good work, encourage them. We support the bad behavior, but we don't ever support the good behavior. And so they feel like they go unwanted. It's time for we to stop saying that we want the bad bitch. We need to say we want the classy woman back. And so
Right.
I'm 10 toes down with my brother D Derell, and we got to learn these are the women that we need to protect. These are, when they say protect Black women, I will protect a classy Black woman, not just any old type of woman. I'm sorry, and I am very selective about my protection. Any woman of class that has resources as a man with a man, that she's building with, they're going to be protective of their stock. Hold up, that's my man. He can't go out there. But
Right.
she understands that's her class, that's her man. So I'm telling y'all right now, support Faith. Don't take away from her message. Share her stream. I try to share her streams or anything that's of the classy thing that branches with that CK reaction satisfaction. I support them in their fight for this. But we have to trust that they will start actually showing and shedding the light. Any of y'all men that say y'all want women to come back and be in their proper place, y'all need to get behind these women right here.
Right.
Stop celebrating them IG ass women, them IG women and them Facebook or some women that be avatared up.
Right.
You got women right here that are on the ground, that are educated and they know what they're doing. So support them. Thank you, brother D Derell, for this stream.
Are you there, brother? Hello?
I'm right there. Yeah, I'm right there. Go ahead, bro.
BMT, you there?
I think you lost. I think he lost me.
Yeah, go ahead. I hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, but yeah, I just want, like I said, y'all, support them, share their stream.
Are you there, brother?
Yeah, I'm right here. I don't think he can hear me. But go
Okay,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead and finish up. Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, I'm just gonna say thank you and y'all have a good day.
All right, brother. Well, guys, it's been a good one. It's definitely been a live one. Definitely a lot of fun. We got a lot of information. Faith definitely killed it. Gynocracy Takeover definitely killed it on the live stream. BMT definitely with wise words. I will be going live again probably on Sunday. I'm gonna be doing some content, working on some content tomorrow. I got a kind of a busy day that early evening part of tomorrow. So y'all have a great evening. Peace. Wish you all the best.